Hello, happy whatever day it is that you're watching it. For me, it is Sunday. My name is Stacy and welcome back to Reads of an Apple. I'm here to start week 43 of 2022. I'm trying to seem kind of chipper, but I have the beginnings of a headache, which I will touch on later because I'm actually, I got it from a book. So yeah, we will go over that in a little bit. Broncos played today. They lost again, which was not fun. But Brett Ripien, our second string quarterback, came in, and there were glimpses of, I don't know if I would say greatness, but there were glimpses of plays where I was just like, oh, okay, where I felt like, oh, okay, that's like a little more hopeful and not just apathetic. So that was interesting, and we'll see. I mean, it was kind of good to see kind of how their plan, like how Hackett originally kind of wants to run the offense, and obviously there's issues going on with Russell Wilson. I also feel like Russell Wilson, as far as what I have seen and heard, and I haven't gone into a deep dive of anything, but it seems like he's not really being a leader in the locker room, and some of the guys aren't being really kind of held up to the same standards as others, and everybody's not held to the same accountability. And I just, like, he was on the sidelines today because he's injured. And when I have seen injured star players, Peyton Manning, on the sidelines, and they're still there for the game to help, they don't stand there with a headset on and sunglasses on and like separated from everybody else. Every time they showed him during the game, he was just standing off by himself watching the game. And okay, fine, the sunglasses, but maybe I'm just being nitpicky because eventually you took them off, and I get it. There is potentially sun in your eyes, but it also kind of makes people seem, I don't know, like, because you can't see your eyes, it sometimes seems a little standoffish, I feel like. And, every time they showed after, when the defense was on the field and Brett Ripien was on, or Ripien, I think is his name, but he was on the bench looking at plays, Russ wasn't talking to him. Russ wasn't giving him advice as a fellow quarterback. And he wasn't talking to the other guys on the offense and having a rapport with them. I haven't really seen him have any rapport with the players outside of one or two guys. And he needs to have a rapport with the entire offense, let alone the entire team. And I've heard some off-the-record stuff that's been talked about on the radio where, they don't say who it comes from, but members of the defense were kind of really screaming and getting angry in the locker room. And it's because, our defense is doing really decent, and they'd be looking way, way much better in the league if the offense could do even just mediocre things. But I don't know. Everybody's calling for Coach Hackett, but everybody was calling for Coach Hackett after his first game as a coach. So I'm just kind of over the Broncos people. And I get it. People are angry, and it's a poor product, and we've been but we also have to take into account we've been very lucky as Broncos fans. And especially a lot of the more Broncos fans my age or slightly older, where they didn't have to sit through the early years. Because we've had lulls, but they haven't been for as long as this lull has been. So, we had John Elway, and, we had back-to-back Super Bowls in the late 90s, and then we had Peyton Manning. And so it's just like, it all comes in ebbs and flows. But I don't know, maybe we'll see what happens. But that is not what my headache is from, because I at least wasn't expecting much, even more so with how horribly they've been playing. And then knowing our second string quarterback was going to be in, and they actually played better than I thought they would at times. So, you know, I'm not too terribly disappointed. And I went to a birthday party and I got glitter tattoos. So I got dark blue stars, and I really like having a tattoo here. It's really fun. And I don't know, maybe I'll get a tattoo here for real, but maybe put it more in the center or something. But I don't know, I really enjoyed having it there. I also got, as you can tell, it's supposed to be a heartbeat with a heart and then more heartbeat, but it didn't work as well over my heart. And I am absolutely covered in glitter, as you can see. And if you're wondering, this is a Kingmakers sweatshirt I got from Novel Grounds. I don't know if it's available anymore, but I'll link them down below because I love Novel Grounds. The Avalanche won yesterday, so that's fun. They were in Las Vegas, so they beat the Golden Knights, which is always great because I'm not a fan of the Vegas Knights. They annoy me, and their rink, the way that they do stuff at their rink is really annoying on television. Like, and even more so on radio. Like, their announcer dude is like the loudest thing in Vegas. I feel like you could be off the strip and still hear that guy hooting and hollering for anything. He's just so loud. And usually when the announcer says things, it's not like in the middle of play and they turn the music down so you can hear what he's saying. But they have him turned up like all of these other things are going on and he needs to be heard over him. But nothing else is going on. So that's always annoying. It's worse on the radio for sure. But yeah, but they won. They don't play again until Monday or Tuesday. And then they play again later this week. And then they fly to Finland for the Finland game. And that will be super fun to see. And so there'll be like weird breaks of hockey because they're going to have a couple days before and after just to kind of get over like jet lag and the big travel and stuff like that. And weirdly enough, the Broncos are playing in London next weekend as well. I'm sorry, London. You got the Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is not the kind of football that we should be trying to get you to watch. So if you are in London or in Europe and going to that game, I am sorry. That's not who you probably want to see at all. All right, so let me talk about books. So I was procrastinating and putting off picking up the Smart Women Read Romance book. So instead, I picked up I Kissed a Ghoul. This is by Kate Baxter. And this is in the multi-author series Halloween Steam. It's not really a numbered series. This is a novella. And this was Halloween set, but I picked it up because she actually emailed about it. I somehow got on her newsletter. I'm sure she was a part of one of the free anthologies that goes around every once in a while. And so I ended up on her newsletter list, and I haven't unsubscribed yet because her books did seem slightly interesting for me. And I thought this was perfect because it's Halloween set, and the hero Reed in this book is a football player. He is a kicker. So I needed one of the last two prompts I have remaining for the first bingo board for Fall in Love is sports romance. And I was like, perfect. It's Halloween and it's sports. So I read that. I gave it 4 stars. It was super cute. Reed is a football player. And he's in Chicago, and he's getting traded back home to Texas, and their team name is the Armadillos, which I loved. But when he's coming back to town, he is now finally acting on his feelings for his best friend's younger sister, Ainsley, and they have become very good friends as well. And they actually started just in casual conversation with all of them because he is best friends with his brother. They found out that they like similar horror authors, and then one of the horror authors that they like, his book is being made into a TV show, so they like, I don't know, it was like super modern because they live, I couldn't tell if they video chat or if they just voice chat, but they use like the voice channel in Discord to talk to each other while they watch the thing. And so they talk at least once a week, if not more. And when he always says like flirty things with her, and she is curvy and she didn't have any like self-confidence issues, but she also was like, I don't think I'm below anybody's bar, but he's a football player. So and he's like, also like, he does the underwear modeling and all the extra stuff that some football players do. And so she just felt like she was like not out of his league, but just in a different league, because that's not the kind of typical person you would see paired with that kind of football superstar. But it was super cute. I gave it 4 stars. She was a little too for me. And it wasn't the body, and it wasn't anything to do with her being curvier. It was just her jumping to conclusions really weirdly. And then, although I did like, because they end up sleeping together at a Halloween party. He goes as her date. And I don't know why I'm going all into this. I usually do this in my wrap-ups and not my videos, but I gave it 4 stars. And she bothered me a little bit because they end up having a one-night stand. And he's telling her he likes her. He doesn't say the L word, but he knows in his head he has been in love with her for a while. And we find out that he actually went to the brother to kind of just be like, hey, I'm going to make a move on your sister. And I guess her brother like scared him off or something funky. And apparently they're hotel magnets. And so it was because he didn't have money or something like that. So I don't know. That part was kind of like, they could have just left it at the relationship of like the weirdness of the relationship with him being his best friend, instead of bringing in the weird sudden he's not good enough for her twist. Like, it could have just been because he's a footballer or something like that. I didn't need the whole hotel magnet stuff thrown in. And then, so he leaves because he goes to talk to the brother, because after they sleep together, he's like, no, this is it for me. This is it. And he doesn't say anything to her, although he gets her breakfast. And that's the thing, is he would order her food from Chicago when she was having a bad day. And then her door would ring and there'd be a food delivery. And so that's like the way that he showed he cared to her. And so he gets her room service before he leaves the hotel, because they end up sleeping at the hotel that is a part of the family's thing where she works. I don't know. It was weird. And then she thinks, oh, it's a one-night stand. And then he tries to call and text her after he talks with his brother. And his brother's like, you couldn't just call me? You had to leave her? And then she like doesn't answer the phone because she's like, it was a one-night stand. I don't know why he's trying to talk to me. Blah, 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 blah. And she just got a little too like staunch that it was a one-night stand. But she didn't answer his calls. She didn't answer his texts. And I'm like, look at them. Don't just ignore them and see that you have the notification. Especially because she likes him too. And I'm like, you would be hanging on to, I would think she would be hanging on to every scrap he can give her. And then he shows up and he's just like, I thought something happened to you. He's completely worried and freaked out because she wasn't answering her phone. And she's just like, I'm fine. And I get he was overly worried. But at the same time, she usually responds to him, even if she's busy. She's like, I'm busy, I'll talk later, or something like that. So the fact that she just completely went cold, I understood why he got worried, but he did get a little overly too worried. And then he's like, I love you. And then she's like, you didn't say that last night. And then he kind of got a little angry, and she's like, don't get angry at me because you didn't say it last night. And he didn't have to say it last night. He's been telling her in other ways. And even though he didn't say love, he did tell her he cared for her a lot. And to me, he kind of was making it clear that it wasn't a one night thing. I get that it was fun. I don't know. It just, that portion of it just got a little weird for me, and she grated on me a little bit. And just because she was so staunch in it being a one night stand, and when she had no real reason to really think that outside of her own prejudices. But there's that. 4 stars. I wasn't going to go into it that much. Okay. So, like I said, fall in love, sports romance. For Color Me Romantic, I did orange, which one of the options is a character that plays or watches sports. And he plays, so there's that one. And then, let me just mark these off because I have a bunch of notes on here, and I don't want to say anything twice because sometimes I do that. So, Fall in Love, Color Me Romantic. Okay. Bang in the Night I used for Trick or Treat, which is characters in costume. And they go to a costume. Their costumes were, they went as Morticia and Gomez from Addams Family, which was super cute. And she wanted to go as Wednesday and Pugsley, and he like switched the costumes on her, which was cute. And the song I chose from Frank Sinatra, if you did not know, for Bang in the Night, the Instagram stories for the mini reviews has a spot for a theme song. So I have been doing Frank Sinatra as my theme songs, but because he has a massive discography, I have been narrowing it down to keep it into the 5 reprise rarity volumes that came out in 2020 and 2021. And I chose Sweet Lorraine. I'll pop it up here for you if you have not heard it. That is from the 2nd volume, I believe. Let me see if I wrote it down in my notes here. Yes, that's in the 2nd volume, if you care. Okay, there is that. So I read that Friday night. I ended up not reading anything yesterday. And then today, I procrastinated and made breakfast and procrastinated some more. And then finally at like noon, I was like, I have to pick up Bitten. This is by Kelly Armstrong. This is the first book in her Woman of the Otherworld series. Oh, this is my least anticipated book of the month. I'm reading it for the Smart Women Read Romance. And I have now officially, right before I filmed this clip, DNF'd it at 54%. I knew it was going to be a struggle going into it. My sister's a big fan of Kelly Armstrong. I actually used to own this and a couple other books by her. And after I watched the first Bitten was turned into a TV show on Sci-Fi. And I watched the first season. I did not like the first season. I didn't really enjoy the show. I don't know why I watched all of the first season. Maybe I thought it was gonna get better, or maybe I just wanted to support I don't know. This was a while ago. Who knows what I was thinking. Maybe I was just starved for any book adaptations to be done, but it's been a while since I've seen it, so I was hoping some of those things wouldn't come back and I had enough separation. My sister did watch the show as well, and she, like normal, the books were better. And I tried reading that first book 3 or 4 times and couldn't never really get very far. So when this won the poll, I was like, oh no. But I thought some time has passed. I've been in kind of a nostalgic paranormal mood with the Cressley Coles. So I thought, okay, maybe now that some time has passed and my reading tastes have changed, maybe I'd enjoy it more. And I feel like I'm a lot more relaxed on like writing style and things like that as well. And I really try hard not to DNF anything, but this is my first one of 2022. I could not take it anymore. I'm just going to go into it, and I'm going to make a note that when I do my wrap up, I'll say, watch this video or the beginning of this video to get my thoughts. I have a headache from it. I was at 17%. It took me 2.5 hours to get through 17% of the book. I had to keep setting it down because I was getting frustrated about some of the character choices. I wasn't really enjoying the way that it was almost like narrated. I didn't, because like we're in Elena's POV, but it's also like, I don't know, third person or something, and usually writing styles don't bother me, but because I wasn't enjoying the story, I was starting to get nitpicky about other things. So if you don't know the premise of Bitten, there are werewolves in the world. Elena is the only female werewolf because when the werewolf's genes, I guess, or strain, is passed down in male lines. And women have been bitten and tried to be turned before, but for some reason, when the women go through that first change, all of them die. Elena is the first in a very long while, possibly since like ancient history time, to go through the change. And there was some instances that caused her to leave the pack and head out on her own. She is living with a very sweet man named Philip, who is a human, and she gets a call from the pack alpha, Jeremy, to come home, that he needs her to please call him back. She calls for days. He never answers. And then Philip, being the nice guy he is like, well, she tells him it's her cousin because she had the lie about it. So she starts lying she's already kind of lying about Philip because he doesn't know she's a werewolf. And she always constantly hides like how much she eats and like every tiny little thing. And I don't know. I really, really struggled. And I pushed myself at 17% when I stopped reading because the Bronco game was on. So I put on the Bronco game. And after the Bronco game was over and my post-game show was over, I was like, okay, let's try to audiobook it. My libraries did not have the audiobook because I thought if I could just fast forward at 2 times speed and get through it. But my libraries didn't have it, and I didn't want to buy it because I already was struggling with this book. So, but thankfully my library had it so you could read it on your Kindle. So I had my Amazon A do it, and that's the first time I've had her read an ebook to me, and for the most part, it was fine. I mean, I wish I could have sped it up a little bit. And sometimes, like, when she says, okay, she, like, changes her, like, reading inflection to the normal, like, okay. And sometimes dialogue would run together and there wouldn't, like, be a pause where we're switching from one person to the next. But here are my issues. I wasn't a big fan of Clay in the TV series, and I remember not liking him in the TV series. I really dislike him in the book. I really dislike him. And I really don't understand how he is supposed to have, like, I get it, has an IQ of 160, he's really smart, but he has to be, like, doubly watched, and he's the enforcer for the pack, and he's the alpha's guard and all this stuff, but he really struggles with impulses and making the wolf's decisions over human decisions. But yet somehow he has a PhD in archaeology? Like, I don't care if you're smart. If you have those bad impulse decisions and you can't control yourself, how the hell did he go through all that schooling? I mean, this was back before online schooling was really a thing. So I didn't understand that. And the way that he kept treating Elena was like, oh, she came home and everything's okay. And he was acting very possessive over her. And I was like, this is weird. And Elena's not really telling us anything about her past relationship. And she gets called home because there has been a human murdered in the small town where their estate is, and they're on an estate that has a bunch of wooded forests, so they have space to run as werewolves and stuff. And there was a human who was killed by a werewolf in town, but they're calling it a dog attack. So she has been called home because she is known for being like to help the pack out, because she has one of the best like noses and she's a good tracker or whatever. So first of all, she shows up at home. It's 9 o'clock. All my stuff's going off. Jeremy is off running in the forest. Okay, fine. So she's like, fine, I'll go get him. Because first of all, he didn't ever answer my calls. He tells me to call him back, and then he did not answer them. Finally, and she only really left. She didn't want to show up, but she didn't want it to make it seem weird to Philip. So she came. Oh my God, poor Philip. Poor Philip gets the stick in this book. Ugh. And he's just like, just go. It's fine. Go help your family, see what's going on. So then he comes back. So then she goes to try to track him down, and Clay stops her and starts trying to make her play. And he's acting like she's coming home for good. And none of them really, everyone's surprised that she left the pack, when in her mind she's told Jeremy, I'm leaving the pack. I can't do this anymore. And oh God, he stops her from going after Jeremy. So she's like, fine, whatever. And he keeps pushing, and she keeps like pulling back, and he's not like, he's pushing, but he only pushes to a point. But still, that felt too far to me. And I don't know why. I mean, I read non-con and CNC and dubcon and dark romance, and that stuff usually doesn't bother me. But the way that Clay was acting was really, really getting on my nerves. And then Jeremy shows up, who's supposed to be the alpha, and she talks about how she always struggled by feeling like she wasn't ever good enough for him, or she didn't understand why he took her in when she was first turned and all this stuff, and she had struggles dealing with her werewolf side and things like that, and apparently killed a couple people when she tried to run away once, and then he brought her back and instead like was still patient with her. So she feels all this gratitude and debt towards him, and almost like he's a surrogate father for her. And then he comes in and he's like super angry, won't tell her anything. And she's just like, you called me home. I was worried about what was going on. And now you're angry and you won't even say anything to me. And he's just like, I don't want to go over it twice. We're going to have a meeting tomorrow. So then, even doubly, she's just like, all I've ever wanted is to feel acceptance from Jeremy, the alpha, and to feel like I am enough for him. And she says multiple times, this is on her, maybe not on him, but she needs that. And I understand that there's not been female werewolves, and they have a very archaic way of thinking. And I mean, these people, if they, like, she talks about how they only use human women for food and for sex. And, like, food is in they eat them. I don't know. Books like this, with this type of werewolf situation, and I get the point of it is probably her breaking the system. But books like this are why I loathed and hated werewolves when I was reading paranormals in middle school, high school, and even up to early college. I was a vampire girl through and through. I read a couple books that had a similar werewolf trope and feel as to this book, and I did not pick up anymore for a very long time. It took till college when my good friend Billy gave me, I was just like, I don't read shifters, and she gave me Patricia Briggs's, she actually gave me Alpha and Omega first, and then I went back to Mercy Thompson, and that was the first series where I was just like, okay, I can understand wolves like this. And that really kind of changed my perspective on what shifters could be in paranormal romance. And let me just say, Bran breaks my heart. I haven't read Patricia Briggs in a couple of years. I'm definitely behind in those series. But Bran, I want Bran to have, and I know he's mated right now, but she's horrible. She's a horrible person. And he only mated her so his wolf wouldn't go crazy. And she was the only one that was semi-acceptable to his wolf. Like, Bran needs his happy ending. And I know he already had his wife that he loved. But I don't know. And maybe it's changed. But my heart breaks for Bran. And I just want to read Bran's HEA. But anyway, that's a completely different series. So I really, really struggled with this. But anyway, so what I was saying is when they get a human woman pregnant and she has the baby, the man takes the baby and she's never heard from again. They don't know her name. She's never allowed to be a part of her child's life. They kill anyone who even finds out about werewolves. And so it's just this super harsh world, and that's fine. It can be a harsh world, but I need a little bit of glimmer. And then, so they start tracking this dude, and there's different things that are going around. Nick, I remember loving Nick in the TV show, and I was like, he and his father are like the only people I liked in that show. And then I liked Peter. And I remember Peter dying in the show. And I got just past Peter's death in the book. That's about where I stopped. But poor Philip got the short end of the stick. But what really kind of started me to start checking out is when Elena slept with Clay. She could have said no. He asks her multiple times. And he says multiple times, if you say no, I will stop. If you say no, I will stop. Well, first off, he kind of started stuff without giving her really giving her the chance to say no. And even though she wasn't verbally saying the no, I mean, she couldn't really physically say no either because he tied her to a tree. But I was extremely uncomfortable. And at this point, she's still with Philip. And I'm just like, you are cheating on Philip. And I was like, okay, fine. And she kind of pulls back when he's got his hand in her. And he notices her change. And so he kind of pauses. And she tries to draw back as much as she can, pinned against this tree. And then he kind of just keeps going and forces her through an orgasm, or almost to an orgasm or something. I don't know. I kind of was starting to tune out because I was getting angry. And I don't really get angry, really. But I was just like, this is ridiculous. And I was just like, ugh. And then he steps back and he takes his pants off. And then they go all the way. And he says, if you say no. And she doesn't say no. And she doesn't say yes. And I don't know. this kind of scene doesn't bother me in other books, but I didn't really feel like in Elena's perspective that she really wanted it. And it just, I guess it bothered me because he was giving her the chance to say no, and she wasn't. And she said her mind wanted to say no, but her body needed the release. And then afterwards, she literally says, if it was any other person that I had cheated on Philip with, I would feel guilty, but I do not, because it's Clay. Because of our history. And I get it. They're teasing you. And they want to drag out like you learning the real history and how she was turned and her and Clay's relationship. But I don't care at this point. I don't care at this point. And I know some of it because I remember, and the more I read, the more I kind of remembered of the TV series. But I thought I didn't like him in the TV series. And this was just a whole other ballgame. And then, I didn't remember this, but when they were together, before she left the pack, she was engaged to Clay. And I guess they met when she was at college and he was teaching at college, which still, if he has impulse control, why is he allowed to be in a completely different state teaching on a college campus? But anyway, he brings her home to meet Jeremy, his father. And while she's in talking with Jeremy, and Jeremy's asking the typical, father questions, and seems like he doesn't like her very much, Clay comes in in his wolf form, and Jeremy freaks out, but doesn't make any sudden movements, and Elena's just like, oh, he's so sweet, and she puts out her hand so he can sniff it, like you do with dogs when you haven't met them before, but you don't just pet them, you let them sniff you and stuff first. And he's just like, put your hand down. And she goes, oh no, I know dogs. I've been around dogs before. I'm just letting him sniff me. No joke. I don't care if you're the freaking dog whisperer. If you are approaching a dog and the owner is freaking out and saying, please don't, put your hand down, get away from the dog very slowly. I don't care who you are, how much you're the dog whisperer. If the owner if what you are perceiving as the owner of a dog is telling you to back away from the dog, you do it. No matter how much training you have, until you can really assess the situation. And it's different with the dog whisperer dude, because I know he gets called into situations, and I know. But she was literally arguing with him for what felt like 10 minutes when I'm listening to this. And I'm like, he's telling you no, stop pushing the issue. So then guess what happens? Well, that dog is actually Clay in wolf form, and he bites her. He forces the change on her, knowing that before this fact, no other women have made it through the change. This is your fiance who you are supposed to be marrying. And I get it. You're pushing the rules. Werewolves don't have marriages. The only way that you can really get her to be accepted into this life is to turn her into a werewolf. But knowing, first of all, he didn't give her the choice. With for all they know in history, a 0% chance of survival for her. She should, and then I guess they got back together after they were werewolves. Good for Elena for getting past that, but he took away her choice, and in taking away that choice from her, he put her in a situation where most other choices are now taken away from her because of the way that the werewolf structure, social structure works. And I really tried as far as I could go, but I was getting a headache, and I had to stop. I just couldn't anymore. I tried to push it as far as I can, and then I was done at about 26%. I was like, I can't do it anymore. But I was like, nope. I was like, let's at least get to 50%. And then I can count it for my reading challenges. Because I tell myself, if I get to at least 50%, and I don't know why this book is 539 pages. Like, I would have rather watch however many hours of that TV show it was than spend reading 50% of this book. As you can tell, I'm very heated up about it and very not okay about the situation. I don't care if it gets better. I saw that she's the main person in the second book, so their story doesn't even get completely wrapped up in this book. Part of me kind of wishes that I never picked it up, but at the same time, now I know. And I will probably not be picking up anything else from Kelly Armstrong. Maybe if it's something in a different series or with a completely different premise, maybe. If I have a book club that's forcing me to read it again. But I just couldn't. So, DNF at 54%. So, for Fall in Love, I use this for person on the cover. Oh, I was wrong earlier. I have one more prompt left for the first bingo board. I now have fall cover left. So I had 3 left. And then I read Kiss the Ghoul and Bitten. So I have 1 left to finish that, which is fun. And fall cover will probably be taken up pretty quickly by whatever Halloween type book I pick up next. For Color Me Romantic, I use this for Brown, which one of the prompts for Brown is a shifter story. And then for Bang in the Night, I use this for hashtag Bang in the Night, which is sex in a spooky location. And they they do it in the woods around their place when there's like dead bodies and hunters around. So I don't know if that's really considered spooky, but that's the only one that it kind of fits into. So there's that. Oh, and then the Frank Sinatra song I chose was also from volume 2 of the Reprise Rarities, and I did Tina because the singer of the song, or who is the narrator of the song, is obsessed with Tina, and that reminded me of how Clay is obsessed with Elena. I really did not like him. I didn't find him sexy. I didn't feel any really tension between them because she wasn't happy with him. And I still don't quite understand why exactly he took her out into the woods and tied her to a tree. And basically forced himself on her. Or force seduced, I guess I would say. I'm drinking in my Minorian mug. Says Man on Endorian. Tonight I'm drinking the Peppermint Cheer from Twinings, which is peppermint and vanilla. I went with a peppermint and caffeine-free tea because I was getting a headache. Although now that I'm done ranting about that book, my headache is still there, but not as strong. So that's helpful, I guess. What I plan on picking up next is Tower of Dawn. I figured I'd get it through. This is the last book club book I have for the month. So I'm going to start Tower of Dawn. And this one I'm slightly nervous of because we deal mostly with Kale in this. But at least I know, even if I still don't like Kale, I like Sarah J. Maas's writing. And I enjoy Who Went With Him. What is her name? Nesrin. We get to see Urine again. She's from the prequel novellas. Okay, I'm a little more excited now that we get to see Urine. Okay, so I will be starting this tonight when I go to bed. So let's do the quest calendar. Oh my gosh. gosh. Last week's vlog started out with like an hour-long clip. I'm really hoping not. This one's not as well, but I'm already at 45 minutes, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, and this is the first day of the week, but let's try to get through the rest of this quickly. So, I have been playing the quest calendar for 2022. This is the Gates of Terralon. This is created by Sundial Games. It is a daily calendar that is a game you play based off of Dungeons and Dragons tabletop role-playing games that are D20 based. We are traveling from world to world to collect the gate shards from the demon world. Its shattered shards went into all of the other worlds, and so we are collecting those to put the gate back together, because the vibe kind of seemed like the universe might explode if we don't. I have been playing as Savani Moonchaser. She is a monk class, and her race is feline, so she is a cat person. Alrighty. So, we have been in a world of like snow and ice and like winter based. And I'm sorry for my laundry. I have not folded it yet. And I had no space around me. So I just put it over there. So I know that's ugly in the background, but I still have to fold it. Alright, so last week we managed to get the gate shard, but we are now trying to fight the guardian of the portal in this world, and he sent ice shards after us. That's how we ended last week, so I'm guessing we're going to have to fight him. Yep. Okay, yep. We've got Tal Zoldan. So this is the guardian of this portal, so we're going to have to fight him, as you can see. So everything in script writing is going to be our story. If there is a battle, we will get a table with either rounds, or if it's different creatures, however that works. It looks like today we're going to have to be doing an attack roll, an intellect roll, and then damage. So that's interesting. And then if we're not having a battle, there'll be any information of like the mechanics of what we're doing will be in this like block style font in a box. And then all of the information we need to actually play through today's game is on the back of the previous day's page. So there's the rundown. Let's get into it. Tal Zoldan turns and bellows out a hideous roar. All of its eyes turn to you. While it lashes out at you with beams and blasts of magical energy, it tries to assault your mental facets and cripple your mind. There's the intellect roll. Okay, so let's just get into it. Round one, we're going to make our attack roll first. I have a little mini 7-die set that came with the game. So I'm going to roll my d20, and our attack roll is a plus 11. And that is a 9. Where's the dot? Yep, a 9. So 20 to hit. All right, and if our attack roll is 18 or more, you hit Tal Zoldan. So now we need to make an intellect roll, and our intellect is a 0. So we just, whatever we roll. That's a 17. If your intellect roll is 10 or less, okay, it is not, so we just get to roll damage. So that was to avoid becoming confused, which causes you to roll your damage twice and take the smaller result. But we are not confused this round. So our damage is 2d12 plus 5. 12. Heck yeah, starting off good. And 2, so 14. So a total of 19 damage. Okay, and if our damage roll is 12 or more, Tal Zoldan is stunned this round. It means he does not attack us. So on to round 2. So attack roll. And that is a 19 that time, so 30. And we once again needed an 18 to hit. So now our intellect roll is an 11. And hopefully it's 10 once again. It is. So we just barely squeak by, becoming confused. All right, and then damage. That is a 10 plus a 12. Holy okay, so we have 27 damage for this round, and we needed 13 to stun him this time. which we do successfully. So round number 3, that is a 13. So we are at 24, and once again, it's an 18. Sometimes it does change depending on what's going on in the story. Intellect roll is a 5. So we are confused. All right. All right, so now our damage roll, which we'll have to roll twice. So that is 11 and 8, so that is 19. So 24 is our first. And then that is a 9 and a 5. So that's 14, so 19. So that's the smaller damage roll, so we'll have to go with 19. And if you hit and your damage roll is 13 or more, so we still make it, Talzuldan dies. Okay, if you stunned Talzuldan 2 rounds, collect 6 gold. If you also killed Talzuldan, collect 3 gold. You activate the gate just as you did the last ones. You step through and are teleported to another world. Well, this one was all snowy, so maybe we'll go to a different world-based one. So maybe it'll be like super rainy or something. I don't know. Or maybe it'll be like seasonal based. Maybe we'll go to like a fall one next. That would be fun. Okay. I will mark the 9 extra gold on my character sheet later. So one more thing I put off. I don't know why. I just have not picked up the gingerbread blanket I have been making. If you have not seen, I'm working on a crochet along holiday blanket that is it's a mandala style blanket that is gingerbread house inspired. So everything up to this second wavy thing is weeks 1 and 2, and she's releasing them in 2-week chunks. I'll link her down below. Elizabeth from Busy Crochet is the one creating it. So weeks 3 and 4 is this rope section, which I have almost finished. I'm here. I just need to finish doing the single crochet around to finish the section. Then there is an option between a diamond or a waffle stitch next, and then another layer of the rope stitch. So this is all being done in the brown, so we don't have to change colors. And I need to work on it. I was thinking of doing the diamond because I think the diamond looks better, but the waffle stitch is a lot easier to make. So I don't know. We'll see when I get to that row. So I might work on this a little bit more tonight and just finish this round. I guess I've got 1, 2.5 sides left to do just single crochets in. Oh, with big blankets like this, I hate single crochet. And we're not even to the full outside yet. It takes so much longer, I feel like. I'm just not a big fan of single. My go-to stitch is double crochets. I love double crochets. Plus, I think they're easier to do like front post stitch. Like this first row here that was in this section was back post single crochets. And if you're not a crocheter and you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm sorry. But they're completely annoying doing back post single crochets into a row of single crochets. It was annoying as all get out. The ropes were fine though, but so yeah, that's it. I'm gonna probably finish that and find something to watch on TV and then get to bed and read. So I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully with some better updates. Hello, happy Monday. And boy was it a Monday. It's 9:45. I don't know where time goes anymore, but I meant to start Tower of Dawn last night and I did not. So I need to start this. Despite the fact that I was really struggling to sleep last night and was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, I did not read anything. So I don't know. When you're having bad mental health days, it's not fun at all. And not sleeping just makes everything better, you know? But let's do a couple things here. So the quest calendar. Yesterday we fought Tal Zul'Dan and we killed him. So, oh, interesting. So we're in a new world. We went through the portal, and this one's like machinery, it looks like. Interesting. Traveling to this new world becomes different from the others. You arrive in a most peculiar place. It feels like the inside of a large locking mechanism for a world of giants. Everything moves. The floor is rotating and the walls are turning. You can get hurt if you aren't careful. So we have 3 options. A, move quickly around the danger, which is a dexterity roll. B, try to stop the dangerous gears, which is a strength roll. Or C, try to predict the movements, which is an intellect roll. I'm going to go with A, the dexterity roll, because that is our best skill. Plus it also allows for danger sense, of which we have. So I did not prep beforehand and take my dice out, which I usually try to at least take the d20 out, but I was thinking I'll do it really, really quick. If you can hear Sarah in the background, she is shampooing the door across the room across the hallway. And she's been doing it since before I got home from work. So I was like, I just have to film. But that is okay. She's cleaning that room that used to be the cat's room, and they're taking it back. So, dexterity roll. Wow, that rolled really far away. What do we got here? We've got a 19. Cool. And my dexterity is a 6. So that's a total of 25. But we also have danger sense, which gives us a +2. So that makes it 27. Alrighty, I'm assuming that's going to be good enough. We are doing option A. Yeah. 15 or more. You move quickly around the rotating gears and changing environment. You never once get hit. Okay, cool. So there is that. Very quick update. I did not read anything, and a quick quest calendar for today. However, we do have a little bit of a longer thing. So today I got my fortune cookie soap box. So this is the November monthly box. If you haven't seen me unbox anything from them before, fortune cookie soap is a soap and like lotions and just bath and body product shop out of Oklahoma, and it's all small batch handmade body products. And I love them. This is their monthly box. It's $16.95 including shipping, and you get a $10 off of $25 code that they send out when the boxes ship, and that's good for 30 days. And so you can use that when there is the extended launch. Now, for most boxes, you get 4 different types of products in 4 of the scents. Sometimes they'll have more scents in the collection than what's in the box. If they're bringing back like a collection that they've done previously, there sometimes will be more scents in the launch, and they usually do launches at the end of the month, and then they ship these around the 10th or the 12th ish. So they also have quarterly boxes that have 6 scents, and usually there's at least 1 full-size product, but it's not November. Why did I say November? It's October right now, so this is the October box. And they do have a Facebook group called the FCS Underground, and you can get scent descriptions early, and I used to go on there, but I'm so bad about getting on Facebook that I haven't. So what's fun to see is fall favorites is the October collection. And then as you can see here, the extended collection launches on their website at on October 28th, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Cool. And they're at Fortune Freak on Instagram, Fortune Cookie Soap. I'll link their website down below if you are interested in them. They are pretty much the only body hair products I buy anymore. I love them, and I love their formulas. So this one looks like we do have 4 scents. I'm not going to look at the scents first. Now for each collection, they also create 4 stickers, and then you get a random sticker in whatever your orders are. And then you also can buy the 4 pack of stickers. It's like $3.99 on their website. So the random one I got are Leaves Are Falling, Autumn is Calling, and I am a fall girl, so I will most definitely be buying the full pack. Especially, I'll probably look and see what the other ones are, but I'll probably be buying the full pack. So this month we have this really pretty pale yellow tissue paper. Everything's always like on point and themed, and I don't know why this one strip of hair just decided it's not going to be tight in my messy bun anymore. And this section too. So I'm sorry if my hair looks weird. I don't know why these 2 chunks just decided to not be attached by elastic anymore. Okay, so yeah, we do got at least one full size product. So okay. Okay. All right. So this is Walk in the Woods toilet spray. I love their toilet spray. So this is, I mean, if you know Poopery, you just do a couple spritz in your potty before you go to the bathroom, and there's no stink. So this is Walk in the Woods. Interesting. So I'm guessing it's going to be woodsy scented. Oh. Yeah, there's some like base notes of wood, but there's a lot of like spices, like fall spices. I like that. I like that a lot. I want this in like a pillow or a linen spray. Not for my toilet. I like that scent. I like that scent a lot. So let's see what it says. A forest full of calming white pine needles, crunchy red maple, and woodsy birch leaves scatter across the ground, while tangy pomegranates, juicy blackberries, and dried persimmon intertwine with fresh minty rosemary. An adventure in the woods you will never forget. So no, I don't know. I could have swear I smelled like a nutmeg or an allspice or one of the earthier ones, but maybe it's the rosemary. And maybe that sweetness from it is coming from the pomegranates and the persimmon. That might be what it is, but whatever it is, I really, really like this. And with that woodsy scent, I feel like I've smelled things similar, but nothing quite like that. Like everything's either more woodsy or more fruity. And this is a good, really good balance. I like that a lot. 5 out of 5. Okay, next. We'll do this cute little guy. So this is pumpkin spice and everything nice. And this is an exfoliating bar soap, but it's just a little tiny guy. Let me take it out of the packaging so you can see it without just all the shine. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, so it's dusted in, it looks like some mica. And that's why the top is so shiny, but I can smell it from here. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's a slightly mellow pumpkin spice, actually. But it's exfoliating. My gosh, this is the, okay, yeah, I can see some little exfoliating beads in it. I don't know if it'll, let's pretend we're a beauty person. I don't know if you can tell. They've got, there's like little chunks of stuff in it. I'm guessing that's the exfoliation particles. So pumpkin spice and everything nice. Grab your favorite sweater and let's go to the pumpkin patch. Fresh pumpkin spice from your PSL dreams. Caramelized bourbon topped with a dash of cinnamon. Don't let anyone tell you you can't be basic and still have fun. That's right. There is nothing wrong with basic. I've made some PSLs myself, but I haven't gone and bought a PSL. But I keep checking if my local Walmart has, or not my local Walmart, my local Target, so I don't have to drive to a half an hour to the other side of freaking town. And I'm hoping that the one that is like 10 minutes away will finally get the Taylor Swift Midnight's Target Lavender Edition in stock, and then I will go there in the morning and finally get my copy. And they have Starbucks in there, so then I can finally get a pumpkin spice latte before it disappears. But I like that. And that's definitely the bourbon, I think, that's kind of mellowing it out. So it's not as just a like it's pumpkin spice, but it's not like harsh. Not that I think that they're harsh, but it's just kind of mellowed out. I hope that makes sense. I need to be better at describing scents. So, ooh, Hydrate Me, and this is a bushel of fun. Ooh, I'm going to guess this is apple-y scented. Now, Hydrate Me's are a very thick, like lotion-y type cream. And these are, yeah, because like if I rub my finger on it, you can see that like a little bit's come off. But these are like super duper hydrating. Coconut butter, beeswax, and shea butter. And I don't know if that's what they recommend, but what I like to do, okay, yeah. So under running water, rub the Hydrate Me, massage into skin, do not wash off. After you step out of the shower, air dry, allow a few minutes for the butters to sink into the skin. So what I like to do is I will do a sugar scrub, and then I'll do a Hydrate Me afterwards. And I'll get my skin all nice and wet, and then I'll put the Hydrate Me on, and then I'll just kind of do some lightly massages on it. And before I do that, I'll do like a hair mask or something so I'm out of the water, and then I can kind of rinse my hair and give my skin the time. And yeah, the water's still going, but I haven't had any issues. But I know that people on their Facebook group, especially in the winter, if they have dry, cracked heels, they like to put this on their feet, and then they'll put on like fuzzy socks or thick socks or something, and it's like creating your own of those like lotion softening socks. But I am a big fan of their Hydrate Me's. I only use them in the winter though, and they usually only make them in the winter because this thing can melt in the higher temperatures. But this is a full size Hydrate Me. But let's smell it. Yeah, this is definitely like apple and apple scents, or not apple scents, apple spices. Maybe a touch of caramel or vanilla to sweeten it. This is right up my jam. So sweet apples drenched in buttery caramel, spiced with cinnamon, and appealing smooth vanilla musk will warm your soul to its core. We couldn't have picked a better scent. Cute. And there's a lot of apple buns in there. Alrighty. And then the final item in the box, if I can get it out, it is crammed in here. So this is All Snuggled Up Laundry Scent Booster. Interesting. I haven't used their laundry scent booster before. So as you can see, they have a lot of different kinds of products, and most scents will have various different products as well. So laundry scent booster, All Snuggled Up. I'm guessing this will be more of like the musky, cozy. Last year or the year before, in their like one of their end of year scents, their collection was sweater weather, and one of the scents was flannel sheets. I was obsessed with that scent. I bulk bought that in the linen spray, and I have like 1 or 2 bottles left of it because I save it. And I love to spray it like on my flannel sheets in the winter, but I love that flannel sheet scent. It is amazing. So I'm hoping I like this one just as much. Okay, this definitely does have that like cashmere kind of musky undertone to it. I feel like maybe not cashmere, maybe it's just a musk. There's definitely some vanilla and a touch of spices. It's not like super spicy, it's just a hint. And I feel like I'm getting something like nutty. And like marshmallows? My brain is going. I don't know what I'm smelling. This is weird. It smells good, but my brain's like too many notes, too many different notes. Yeah, I think it's definitely marshmallow. Okay, let's just see what it is. Laundry scent booster. So this is, it looks like it is powder in here. So I do use a scent booster, but all of my laundry is one scent. My scent booster, my dryer sheets, and my soap. So I don't really like to mix scents for my laundry. But I'd be interesting to try it. I just don't think this would work with my normal scent. But I do have one bottle of scent-free laundry detergent that I use when I make like crochet blankets for charity or crocheted items for charity. I'll wash them in the allergen and scent-free laundry detergent just to kind of keep all of Cheese's dander off of it. So maybe I could use some of that since it's scent-free and add this just to see how it goes. But let's see the description. All snuggled up. We can't imagine a better way to spend a crisp evening, cozy under a blanket next to a fire, enjoying our favorite book and this scent. Lovely nutty notes warmed up next to toasting marshmallows, rich brown sugar, sweet vanilla musk, and sprinkled with spices. I thought I was being silly with that blend, but apparently my nose is actually doing pretty good at detecting some scents. So now I don't feel so crazy. So there's that. I'm going to give this laundry booster like a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give this guy a 4 out of 5. I really enjoy it, but I do like my pumpkin spices to be a little more pizzazz. But I think this is nice for a soap too, because other people might be using it that aren't as obsessed with pumpkin spice as I am. But it's a good like mellow option. 5 stars. Love this. I hope they have this in like a shampoo and some creams because I love it. And the toilet spray scent is also 5 out of 5. So this month is a home run for me. I love all the scents. I can't wait to see what products they end up doing for all these scents. But I'm not really surprised. Like, the fall scents are my jam. Like, the fall and the baking and the spicy scents are my go-tos and what I enjoy the most. And I still have not filmed my Halloween unboxing yet. For my Halloween box. It's been sitting over there for like a couple weeks now. So I need to open it. But should we just do it? Should we just do it? I don't have a game tonight. I was going to crochet tonight, but that's already gone and passed. Let me just grab it. Let's just do it. Let's just have a fortune cookie time. And instead of having to do another video and trying to find time to edit it, on top of the other videos that I'm already kind of stretching myself for 2 weeks. Let me grab it. I will be back. Okay. I'm excited. So this is, if you did not hear my fun ramblings when I got this is their Halloween box. They usually do 2 seasonal boxes. I should have mentioned this earlier. They just closed pre-orders for their Christmas one. They were doing a 6 and a 12 cent box, but I bought it because them and Adagio's. Okay, Adagio's teas, who I did last year, and I got it as a gift for Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life. Their advent calendar. I got an email today that their advent calendars went on sale. So if you like tea, they are my favorite tea company. I recommend getting the loose leaf. If you've never had them before, you can get the bags. But at least in the past, I've talked to people that work there, and they usually do mostly new tea blends for the loose leaf bags, but or for the loose leaf tea, but the bagged tea usually is just the same ones. So just throwing that out there, but I still like to get the loose leaf. I got the bag tee the first time, but I think the blends are a lot more fun in the loose leaf because they kind of go a little bit crazy. But back to this. Usually, it'll probably be up here soon. I'll mention it when I get the email. They do the Halloween box and they do extras. And so anything that was left over. I haven't seen a notice on if any of them are going to be posted yet, but like I said, I don't really get on their Facebook group anymore. So the theme for this year's Halloween box was Coraline. And I read the scent descriptions when I pre-ordered this back in like August, so I don't really remember much. I remember being very excited about a couple of the scents for sure. And then as for their Christmas one, they'll probably do overflow or excess products on sale as well, but that might not be until like after Christmas or after they've sent all of the ones out. They do have international and in the US shipping. So they usually ship the international boxes out earlier in the month, and then once those are all done, they'll start on the US ones. But so as well, so whoa, be careful what you wish for, and things are flying. Okay, so ooh, that's fun. A fortune cookie soap sticker. So this is their logo. Ooh, it's a hollow. And then another sticker, be wise, be brave, be tricky. Hollow. Super fun. It's been a long time since I've seen Coraline, so we've got all these scents to go through. And then once again, here is the card. Okay, and it is in black. So let's see. And then there's usually one item in these boxes that is not like a lotion type of product. It's like a product that like you don't scent, but they put their logo on. So like I've gotten like a t-shirt before and a bandana and a mug, and usually they have those in here, but I don't know what exactly is all in this one. But gosh, look at it. It's so pretty. I can't believe I just let this sit over here for 2 weeks. Ah. Okay, let me just destroy everything. Ah, oh my gosh. Okay. Flip that up and then move it. I don't know where to put things. Okay. Let's just get to it. I'm gonna fix you because I don't know what happened. I'm usually off-centered, but I don't have books right here, so we'll just grab this pretty pink one. So this is Swear on My Right Hand Whipped Cream. So their whipped cream is a lotion, but it is a cream. It is very thick. So as you can see, this is a really pretty pink. Oh, it's actually 2 colors of pink. Look at that. That's cool. This one has some light spice, and I'm getting like a little bit of florals. Okay, I don't know how many other lotions are going to be here, so I'm going to put up my sleeve and we're going to just do this. But yeah, it's super thick. I usually prefer to use, ooh, that feels really nice. I love their creams. I usually just use their whipped creams, and I don't use the thinner lotions. I will use the body milk, which they have, which is very liquidy. It does. It looks like a slightly thick milk. Yeah, this definitely has some florals with a hint of spice. I'm getting a hint of spice, but that could be left over from the other box. But I like that. It's a very subtle and delicate scent. I don't mind this at all. This would be something I would be comfortable with putting on in the morning and not feeling like it might clash with whatever perfume I have on. Because sometimes I try to save the stronger scented stuff for when I go to bed. So that, once again, that was Swear on My Right Hand. So, if I can find it, she knows you like the back of her hand. This shape-shifting blend of blueberries, pear, and juniper berries intertwine with other dimensional woods and white musk, while warm vanilla and sweet bourbon makes it especially evil. You know that she loves you. I guess I got the sweetness, but it didn't really smell like fruits to me. And it's probably the woods and white musk with the juniper berries is what's giving me the more florally scent. But I liked that. I liked that a lot. It's a good, delicate option. Okay. Sugar scrub. I love their sugar scrub. So this is Treasures and Treats, and this is a black sugar scrub. So, focus. Treasures and Treats. Super pretty. Oh, yeah, this smells like candy. Sweet candy, for sure. She lured us away with treasures and treats, but we still wanted more. A sticky, sweet blend of orange zest, strawberry, apricot, coconut, and green apple. Don't let the other mother lock you away and eat up your life. Yeah, fruity candy. Yeah. I love their sugar scrubs. Although I found they're super helpful if I do a sugar scrub and then I do a lip mask that I have that's very thick, and usually the next morning I'll do another sugar scrub because by the time the moisture and everything soaks in overnight, I have whatever left remaining is peeling again, and so I'll do the sugar scrub again in the morning with some just normal chapstick, and my lips stay super soft, which is awesome. So this is Magic Mud, a charcoal mud mask. Apply a thick layer of charcoal mud mask over face and neck, avoiding eye area. 5 minutes is an ideal time for it to absorb. Rinse off with warm water and pat dry. Interesting. I haven't done very many mud masks. It's pretty, but it's a light gray. It smells like charcoal. Yeah, I have lots of, because I have issues with my pores and my oily skin and blackheads and stuff. A lot of my skincare products that I get have charcoal in them, so it smells like that. It does have like undertones of a fruity scent too. But it's not, the charcoal is the main scent that I get. Although it's probably just not scented, it's probably just charcoal. So Magic Mud. We love mud here. Mud facials, mud baths, mud pies. Water witching in the gloomy rain can be tricky. A fragrance reminiscent of a perfect spring day. Sweet fresh rain, perfect green grass, an enchanting bouquet of peonies, tulips, and hydrangea petals that will have you feeling better in no time. I smelled none of that. I just smelled charcoal. Okay. I'm just gonna keep moving on. So, this is a Seeing Stone Bath Bomb. Oh, fun. Okay. And this is sealed. Oh, here we go. There's a little bit of an opening on the back. See that tiny little hole? See, I'm getting fruity too, but I don't know if I'm just smelling my fingers now. This definitely... I'm getting fruit. I'm getting more like berry type fruits though, I think. Yeah, definitely more berries. So that is Seeing Stone. I'll pop it up once again. They're good for bad things and they're good for lost things. When you are in terrible danger, rely on this blend of otherworldly pomegranate, juicy blackberries, red currant, and exotic musk to help you find the lost souls and get back home. I think that'll be a really pretty green in the tub as well. Okay, so then we got this big orange bottle. Look at that pretty peachy color. So this is Mango Milkshake Creamy Body Wash. Pretty. I'm gonna guess this smells like mango. Oh, come on. Yeah, mango, and it smells like a creamsicle except mango instead of orange. Any requests? Mango milkshake, the sweetest blend of mango, fresh raspberries, and lemon curd swirl around sticky sweet citrus and juicy fruits. Anything you want, you will receive. That's fun. I just got the mango. Oh my gosh, and here is a wax tart. That's crazy. And this is the Other World. Okay. We're getting there. We're over halfway through. This smells very similar to something I smelled earlier tonight. Oh, now it smells kind of odd. This is what the inside looks like. Their wax got a little bubbly. I was trying to tell if they poured it in here, but I feel like, yeah, this isn't the best packaging for wax tarts. At least it's not one that I prefer, because it's kind of hard to pop it out. But it's fun. Okay. I make, if you have not seen some of my vlogs earlier this month, I make wax tarts. So I'm a little pickier with those. Here we go. Open the little door and crawl your way through a bewitching blend of sweet caramel drizzled on perfectly ripe, juicy pear slices. The smell of vanilla maple fills the air. The only thing better is a perfect cherry on top. It's almost too good to be true. I'm guessing it's the caramel that I'm smelling, but that was similar to that other one. I think maybe the laundry one, but I don't know. Cute as a button bar soap. Oh my gosh. Are you ready? So it's white and boom. There's a button embed in there. That is super cute. Bar soap, fun. Okay. Let's see if I can figure out an opening. Here we go. This smells like the body wash my mom used to buy. It's like giving me weird nostalgic vibes here. And I feel like I'm gonna start crying. And I feel like she didn't buy any special freaking body wash, but I haven't smelled this smell since my mom was alive, so oh my gosh. That's crazy. It's hard for me to tell you what this smells like because this smells like my mom. Black is traditional, but if you prefer pink or vermilion or chartreuse, you might make me jealous. Explore this fun and never boring fruity blend of mandarin orange and sweet strawberries with vanilla rum and gardenia finished with a base of warm sandalwood. Oh, but we need a yes if you want to stay here. I'm definitely scenting or getting more of the vanilla rum, gardenia, and sandalwood. Wow, that was unexpected, to say the least. Okay, Mushka's Foaming Sugar Scrub. There we go. So this is a nice white. It's pink on top. Surprise! You can see it now that it's past the lid, but I love their foaming sugar scrubs. When I was talking about the Hydrate Me, this is what I use beforehand. Either this or they have some coffee scrubs that I really like, but I'm all out. I used the rest of my last coffee scrub from them. That was from last year's Halloween box. This is giving me definitely more like a fruity baked good vibe. Maybe not quite baked good, but like fruity cheesecake. But that kind of like sweet. So Mushka's. Welcome to Mr. B's Jumping My Circus. They smell of fresh spun cotton candy, fluffy whipped cream, dancing sugarcane, ripe strawberries, fresh baked vanilla pound cake drizzled with sweet vanilla bourbon. The show was about to start. So yeah, I definitely the more sickly sweet, sugary scents. I love it when I get them right. Oh, and then the last thing is this, and there's 3 things in here. So we'll just pull on one. This is going to be a scent diffuser. Oh my gosh, if it'll come out. Why are we stuck? There we go. Oh, because the packaging is a little funky here. Scent diffuser. This is Welcome Home. And I put these in my car. So welcome home. And I'm not going to pop. When they come, there is a rubber stopper in here. So you just peel this off and then you can dip it over. And then it'll start diffusing into the lid. Okay, so this seems florally to me. But I'm getting some... It's a touch of florals, and I'm also getting a spice. But not like cinnamon, more like an allspice or a clove or something more earthier, I feel like. But I like that. I like that a lot. This would be perfect. I actually just put one in my car a couple weeks ago, a newer one, so I have to wait to get through that one first. But that will be the next one I put in my car for sure. Welcome home. We've been waiting for you. You walk into the other kitchen to scent the fresh apple slices, ripe peaches sprinkled with cinnamon sugar, spiced clove, fresh tonka beans, and a whisper of perfect lilacs from the garden outside. Don't you feel at home? Yes. Yes. Great. Okay. Then next, Twitchy Witchy Girl perfume oil. Cute. So this is a really pretty blue frosted bottle. I love frosted glass. Ugh. When we'd go to the gaming conventions down in Denver and Chessex would come, who's like one of the biggest dice companies out there, I would always have to get a new pair of frosted dice. I love them to death. I love the look. I love the feel of them. I love frosted glass. And frosted plastic, I guess, because technically the dice are plastic. But all right, let's see. I'm just gonna put it on because perfume oils always smell different on everybody. All scents smell different on everybody, but this is the only perfume that I use. Are perfume oils from. Gotta get the rollerball going here. This is definitely more florally. Oh yeah, definitely a lot florally. Wow. okay, yeah, this definitely needs to be used a lot lighter. It's slightly tackier than their normal formula, but that could just be because I just started it and who knows what else I have on my skin right there. But this is definitely florally. I can handle it a lot better on this side where there's less. So definitely this to me is more of like a spring or summer scent. But let us see. Twitchy Witchy Girl. Here we go. Ooh, my Twitchy Witchy Girl. I think you are so nice. I give you bowls of porridge and I give you bowls of ice cream. A peculiarly, oh my god, I hate that word. A peculiarly sweet and fruity floral fragrance with the rich scent of plum mixed with spices and the floral blend of vanilla, orchid, and jasmine. That's all I smell. The jasmine is most prevalent with the orchid. On me, on my skin. So, throwing that out there. And then the final item is See Things Our Way Caffeine Eye Serum. I've never seen this from them before. Wash hands before use. Roll a small amount of product under your eyes, remembering not to use too much. Lightly dab the eye serum around the eye areas, outer eye and under eye, and sweep the product across the skin. Do not rub too aggressively and allow the product to be absorbed without too much pressure. So normal serum instruction, normal eye serum instructions. The first ingredient is caffeine extract. Interesting. So See Things Our Way. And this one has a metal roller ball. I don't really want to put it on my face right now. And this is a brown bottle. Because I need to wash my face before I do serums. And I don't do eye serums too often. So I'm just going to do it on the back of my hand right here. I'm getting like, it's very, very light. It's lightly scented, which is good for facial products, I feel like. I'm getting almost like a tea scent, but something light. So like a white tea, definitely not like a green tea or a black tea. For a second, it smelled almost like the fish food we used to get for free, or like for a quarter up at the trout farm. But then it dissipated, so I don't know if something mixed and that made that weird scent. But yeah, I'm getting like tea and florals. Okay, See Things Our Way. We aren't worried at all, darling. Close your tired eyes and try to wake up in the real world with chilled red wine, drenched black grapes, orange, black plums, berries, and only the memory of jumping mice. I didn't get any of that. I'm getting a tea. What is the ingredients here? Full ingredients. Water, glycerin, simansia, jojoba, seed oil, white tea extract. That's what I'm smelling. Not too many products. All right, so, and there's that, and that is my Halloween box from Fortune Cookie Soap. So there we go. 45 minutes for an update today after a long update yesterday, but I don't think I have any other packages that we'll have to do, so it should just be... I can't believe before I did Fortune Cookie Soap we only had an update of 3 minutes, and now we're at 45. So goes. Alright. It's 10:30, so I'm going to get ready to go to bed, and I'm probably going to spend the rest of the night reading and finally start Tower of Dawn, which I'm very excited for. So I will see you all tomorrow. Happy Wednesday. Surprise, I skipped another day. I was going to do my clip last night, but I fell asleep during the Avalanche game. They ended up winning 3-2 in a shootout in overtime. And I fell asleep during the intermission between the second and third period. So I missed the end of the game. So my plan is, even though I've listened to all my post-game shows, I fell asleep and I woke up during my post-game show on the radio. Or not game show, talk show. So I listened to that and my normal everyday Avalanche podcast this morning. But I still want to watch it because I guess it was really exciting. So I'm probably going to try to watch the third period and overtime. I believe all games are posted on ESPN afterwards, no matter where they're shown. So I'm going to try to look for that. Tonight's also decision day for Married at First Sight. But since I don't have real TV anymore, I might have to wait till tomorrow to watch it. But tonight's decision day. And then we've got the 2 reunion part 1 and 2. So that's super exciting. But yesterday, I have not opened it yet, but I know what this is. Yesterday was the release day for Jackie Lau, and this is the Stand-Up Groomsman. This is the follow-up to Do Not Fall in Love. So this is her second traditionally published book, and this is between Vivian and Mel. So we'll see. I know that Mel is bi, I think. I think it's Mel that's bi, but they could both be bi. Hi! She just started screaming at me from behind me on the chair. But I'm intrigued. But this is set, so he's going to be the groomsman, and Vivian is the roommate of the couple from Do Not Fall in Love. So I'm assuming that it's going to be set around their wedding, which will be super fun to see in the background. But I'm excited to read this, and I'm excited for just more books from Jackie Lau. That makes me happy. I have not started Tower of Dawn yet. I know I keep saying I'm going to start it. It is over there on the other side of my bed. But I've also had some bad cases of, I don't know. Insomnia is maybe not a thing, but I'm not sleeping very well. And then yesterday when I fell asleep and then woke up, I was up till like 2 o'clock and then I fell asleep again. But weirdly enough, I woke up early this morning and felt rested. So I don't know what's going on. But because it was like dark in the middle of the night, I didn't want to turn on all my lights because I have Tower of Dawn in paperback. So I started reading Evil Twin by Katie Wilde. This is a part of the, I don't even know. It's a part of a series that has a couple books by Ruby Dixon in it. And one of them's Bad Guy. And I think the other one's Worst Guy or Worst Guy. Let me see about this book. See, it's dark. I bet this is super fun for you. Hi! My goodness! It must be hard to be a cheese poof. Yes, I know I already borrowed it. It's Villainous something. It just says download the other books, but it doesn't say what series they're in, so I don't know. It's in Villainous something. This is what the cover looks like. I'll try to look it up when I update you when I'm done. But I'm 62% of the way through. And I picked this up because one of the Big in the Night prompts I had left was twins. And I actually did also last night figure out all of the books that I'm going to finish reading for Bang in the Night. So I've got a couple shorter novella books, and then a couple full-length novels, and then I have one sci-fi romance that's like 200-ish pages that I'm thinking of picking up, but I haven't decided if I'm gonna pick up that or an audiobook yet, because the audiobook I was looking at is like 350 pages, so I don't know, but I haven't decided, but you will know. but I'm going to try to cram in as many and finish it by Halloween. And I'm running out of time, but we're almost there. So I should hopefully be able to finish this tonight. Quick basic premise. Bane is our hero. He's kind of an anti-hero. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. I said that when I walked in. When I walked in, I was like, it's me. And when I came in at work this morning, I was like, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. My boss just started laughing. But anyway, he is the younger twin brother to the king of whatever country that they're in. And he is actually like the lead general, and there are these what they call the scourge, and there are these people that get this venom, and then they basically become mostly undying creatures. And it seems almost like Shifter-esque, because some people are able to get the venom, and then if they treat it with a specific herb right away, so this happened to the general, he can, like when the venom is high in his blood, and he talks about how it's like burning his blood, he grows like fangs and claws. But if he had the full effect of the venom, he basically loses his mind and becomes an animalistic creature with fangs and claws and starts like decaying and becoming undead. So it's really interesting. But he is the country that he saved from this scourge, which is one of their neighbors, is very thankful for being saved. And they are planning a wedding with their daughter to his brother, the king. And his brother is not a good king. His brother didn't even want them to go save their neighboring kingdom, and he kind of took his army away to go do this because he knew that eventually, once they overran their neighbors, they'd come for them, and the scourge would just, like, people get infected and it just multiplies, and it's a bad situation. So he wants to become a king in his own right. But since he promised his mom on her deathbed when he was 5 years old that he would not kill his brother, he has decided he is going to seduce the princess that's to become his brother's wife, and he plans it out so that they will be in bed and either just about finished or finishing when they come in, and then they will be forced to kind of marry because his brother's vain and wouldn't want to take the chance that his queen might have his brother's son. So he plans on basically forcing the marriage upon her when he arrives. When he goes to seduce her, he actually finds her trying to seduce his brother because she wants to get married right now and make sure it falls through because she wants to escape her parents. So it kind of ends up being a mutual seduction thing. And I don't want to spoil the twist because it's not said in the blurb, and I was very surprised. But there is some deception on her end as well. And what's funny is that the evil twin isn't who you might think it is. So I was very intrigued and interested. There are some weird things that I wasn't quite sure what to do with. It talks about like a thing that she does paralysis with, and I just don't comprehend how this herb that she created, or this like tincture that she created that paralyzes people. There's a situation where she was going to paralyze him after they got married and take over the kingdom herself and just leave him there. And he's a good man. Like, he does bad things, but he is a good general, and he saved her kingdom, and she is aware of this. So she decides at the last minute to not kiss him on the lips so he doesn't become paralyzed. And then she kind of goads him into kissing him in the carriage when they're leaving, and he becomes paralyzed while he was turned on, but somehow he stays turned on, and then somehow she becomes paralyzed, but yet they're still able to do it weirdly. So I don't know. It just was a really weird situation, and I'm still not quite sure how exactly it happened, but whatever. But anyway, that was my super quick rundown, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely unique. This is the first book I've read by Katie Wilde, but I have several of her books on my TBR. So I'm excited that for the most part, I'm enjoying it. Otherwise, before we do the quest calendar, I did do a little bit of crocheting last night. Not as much as I wanted to, obviously, but I finished the rope section officially, and then I decided I'm going to do the waffle stitch instead of the diamonds. So it's just a row of double crochets at this point, but I have started my waffle stitch section. I can show you what it'll look like eventually. So this is the blanket that has the waffle stitch. So this portion right here is the waffle stitch. The other option, which I mentioned, is the diamond portion. So that's this line here where it's like the X's. And I like the look of this a little bit better, but the waffle stitch is a little bit easier. And this section is almost all single crochets. And then the diamonds themselves are front posts. So I decided to do the waffle stitch because waffle stitch is double crochets, which is my favorite stitch to work with, and it'll go a lot quicker because then we have the second rope section, which will be another section of all single crochets. So I need to catch up because the next 2 sections drop on Saturday, and I have been slacking and not working on that. So but I will obviously show you. Hopefully, my goal is today, while I watch the rest of the game, is finish the waffle stitch section and then do the first couple rows of the foundation of the next section of the rope stitch, and then read the rest of the night. And then tomorrow and Friday, I should be able to finish the rope stitch. But I'd like to get it done tomorrow, so then Friday I can start my next Christmas project, because I want it to be more done with those ones than I am right now. But I just don't have enough time in the day. So let's do the quest calendar. Monday we left off entering like a mechanical world, and we were able to dodge some of the gears that were a little more dangerous. So it's a robot. He looks slightly evil with all the red lights. And look, he's got a little flame going on. Okay, he's a little cute, but a little evil. You find yourself in a hallway made of metal. Red lights appear up ahead. You hear a whirring and buzzing sound coming from a creature that is approaching. A giant metal spider seems to be cleaning and repairing this giant machine you are in. It must think you are a foreign object and is coming for you. So we're going to have 4 rounds of combat, and it's just going to be our attack roll and our damage roll. So and move things. Oh, really? What if I said you were cheesy? Boop. She's so cute. She yells at me, but she's so cute. Yeah, you are. Okay, that is a 15 to start. There we see. Come say hi. Okay, so our attack is a plus 11, so that's 26, and we needed a 16 or more to hit the repair bot. So now we will roll our damage. So we've got our d12, and there's a kitty. So 2d12 plus 5 is our damage. That is a 3 plus a 7, so 15 total. And we needed 7 or more to stun him, so he is stunned for round 1. On to round 2. That is an 18, so 29. So we hit once again, and that was 16. And now damage is a 10 and a 2, so 12, so 17 total damage. And we needed 10 damage this round to stun him, so we do so. On to round 3. That's a 16, so 27. We needed a 16 once again to hit. Damage, another 3. Lots of 3s today. And an 8, so 11, so 16 total damage. We needed 9 this round to stun him. And round 4, our final round. That is a 2, so 13. So we needed a 16 or more, so we are short by 3, which is unfortunate. We can use a chi point to add a d6 to attack and damage rolls for the page. So I'm going to do that because we never use our chi, so we might as well use our chi. Let's do it. So I will get out my tiny d6 and we will add a d6 and hopefully it's a 3 or more. It's a 5. Perfect. So we were at, what were we at? 13. So 18 to hit and we needed 16 once again. And now we get to roll 2 dice this time. That's fun. So I've got a 9 and a 5, so 14. And then another 4, so 18 plus our 5, 23 damage for our last round. And we needed an 11 or more, and this time the repair bot dies. So if you stun the repair bot 3 rounds, collect 3 gold. If you also killed the repair bot, collect 1 additional gold. So we get 4 gold for Tuesdays. That's not the right sheet. For battling the guy for yesterday's quest calendar. So once again, we battled and destroyed him. So today's quest calendar, ooh, this reminds me of the Hobbit movies when they're like returning on the forge. Okay. You continue moving through the corridor and discover a light source and some heat coming from above. You see a vague light cast on the ceiling. Chains are moving large metal buckets. They stop and then begin to tip over. Hot molten metal begins to pour on top of you. Dodge the falling liquid. Dexterity roll, reminder, danger sense. Thank goodness we are a dex base character. So we have a +6, plus we also have danger sense, which gives us +2. So total +8. And that is a 17. So we are at 25. And let's see. Oh, I put that sheet away. Cool. If the result is 21 or more, you move spectacularly and dodge around the molten metal as it falls to the floor and passes through some metal vents in the ground. Cool. So no damage. And we get 4 gold, so that's not bad for 2 days. So I'm going to get going on all of my projects I have going for tonight, and I will see you all tomorrow with another update. I've got Rinks in here with me today, and Cheesy. They're both curled up waiting to see if I have something for them, but I do not. Usually, if I eat dinner, I eat right when I get home, so they both get Twitter pated thinking that whatever I have for dinner is for them. Huh. I don't have too much for you today. Last night, I did read a little bit more of Evil Twin, and I'm at 75%, so not too much has happened outside of the heroine, and I'm not saying her name intentionally because it's kind of, I moved her cat tree and I didn't scooch it back. I'll move you back in a second, honey. I'm sorry. It's kind of a spoiler to the situation that's going on, which may or may in fact be a spoiler. That I'm telling you it's a spoiler, but now I'm running in circles in my head. But anyway, the hero wants her to fall in love with him. This is definitely kind of insta-love on his part, which I wasn't expecting. Admiration turned to lust, turned to what he thinks is love. So I don't know if I 100% believe it at this point, but it's fine. Whatever. I'm just going with it. We'll see how it all resolves on if I feel like the insta-love was done well here. Because insta-love can really bother me, but not all the time. It needs to be just done well. But he is courting her, and after the weird carriage ride, he is like trying to get her to fall in love with him, and he tells her that he wants her to love him. And he asked one of his guys earlier in the book how to like court a lady, and he's like, they like being picked up and carried places. So every chance he gets, he like picks her up and carries her places, and she's just like, I don't know why you keep picking me up, but okay. But they're kind of wandering an area where they're gonna make camp. They're almost to the city where they're gonna take over this like barren kingdom after the scourge, and a couple of the, I don't even know what they call them, the like wild beasts that like all together are the scourge, show up, and he goes into like super duper protective mode, and you know, he kind of like doesn't have to think twice before he shifts, so to speak. His claws and his fangs come out, and then the way he says it is that his blood is burning so much he can't like really take it, and then they end up getting together. But then he feels bad after the fact because he promised himself and in his mind to her, because he wants to court her, and he wanted to try to court her emotionally and not using any physical acts, and they like kiss because it feels almost like with the super touchy like werewolf where they always need to be touching their mate and like they just need to have them near, especially when they first bond. It has that kind of a vibe to me, which is why I'm not too angry at the insta-love, because that's what it feels like so far. But while he's riding the high, and she's just like, she's on board for it, so it didn't seem, I mean, maybe I guess some people can see if they're very sensitive, it is dubcon, but it didn't bother me at all. It didn't strike me as problematic, but I'm probably not the best person to decide that. But while in the heat of the moment, his bestial nature is like, I want you to love me. I'm going to make you love me. And she says that's impossible. And while it seems like they're in the heat of the moment, he gets really upset and hurt by the fact that she says it's impossible. And so he's just like, I'm still in a rage, you please go away. Maybe and he says it harsher, but he's just like, I can't be around you when I'm in this mood. It's best for you to leave, go away. And immediately it switches to her POV, and she's like, why did I say that? I love him. I'm just afraid to say the words. And so she's like, and then it's like the next day or something, and she still hasn't said it, and she won't say anything. And now she knows that he's hurt by the fact that she said this, and she is like she's aware to herself that she's using the words that he said previously back against him, and she feels bad about it, but she won't say anything. And I get it, it's rough, it's hard for her to say the words, but she could at least apologize and be like, and tell him, I cannot say the words right now. It's hard for me to say the words, but I am feeling feelings. Or something along that nature. Like, she could open up to him a little bit. But we'll see how it resolves. Like I said, I didn't read too much. I just was very tired. Then I don't know why my watch is going crazy. I did get a package today, so I will share it with you. So I had pre-ordered from Ritual Society, I think is their company. They are who I got my tarot stamps from that I've shown you before. They might be just right here. Let's see if I have them. I thought I kept them out in case I wanted to do spreads or something, but apparently I did not. But anyway, they have a ritual planner, and I've looked at it off and on since I kind of first found them earlier this year. And then about a month or so ago, they had pre-orders go out for their 2023 ritual planner. And you can, what's cool about the way that she does this is, I thought about buying a planner earlier, and it starts whatever month of the year that, like, if I bought the 2022 October planner, but I bought it like in October, it would come with October, but it would start in November and go through next year's November. So you can buy it at any time and get a year's worth of planners. But she did a pre-order for 2023 in its entirety. She had technically 4 options. So she had hardback and paperback. And then there was, for the daily card spreads, 1 card and 3 cards. So I chose, and my pre-order came in, the 1 card spread. So this is the paperback spiral bound 1 card 2023 planner. And so they call it the Ritual Planner. Like I said, I'll link them down below. This shipped yesterday, and I totally spaced until I got the shipping notification that they're in Longmont, Colorado. So it took a day to get to me, which is super fun. But if you want to see the back, I think I love this cover, and this definitely is a picture of Colorado. Like, I recognize this as the Colorado foothills. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. But I think I liked the colors in the other one a little bit more, but I think this is still absolutely gorgeous. And this does have that soft, like, matte feel, which I prefer on my paperback books as well. So it is pretty thick, and I figured I'd just go over some basics of it. They do have a walkthrough for 2022 that I saw on their website, and I'm sure they might do one for 2023, but I figured I'd just show you the first couple pages. I haven't looked too much, so it looks like we start with a how to use this. Okay, so then we have like how a guide. So this is 2023-24 holidays, and then this is an explanation of the calendar features. And then that continues. And then a personal birth chart, how to fill that out. Tarot questions to ask your cards. And then, okay, here's some cheat sheets for tarot card meanings. That's fun. And then astrological reference guide. Now, I don't do too much in astrology outside of where the moon is sitting. The full moon or new moon is sitting in astrology. But that's because I just haven't learned about it. And then there is space to fill out your birth chart. And there is a note, download your birth chart at a specific website. And then it says the astrological reference guide on page 10 to 11. So that's the previous page. It doesn't really show you how to fill it out. I did download from, I think it's Neonatal Charts. I'll link them down below. But I had my birth chart done a couple years ago. And it's free on this one site where you can go in, download this huge PDF that goes through each house and the signs. And I have it, and I've kind of glanced through it, but I haven't really gotten into the nitty gritty of it. But that's fun. Okay, and then we just kind of jump right into it. So here's the year ahead spread. So all year, and then here's space to write. I'm not sure if I will use every portion of this house how it's intended, but I definitely might try to combine this with some of my other planner things, or I might just keep this just for tarot. While I would like to get better at doing a daily card pull, I just don't know if that's something that's feasible right now. I mean, who knows where I'll be in 2023. That would be nice. I would like to get back to doing my at least new moon and full moon spreads a month, twice, so that's 2 times a month usually. And then maybe even just some quarterly pulls. Like I would like to do more pulls and do more in my studies. It's just with my living situation at the moment, I haven't been doing too much. But we will see. I definitely will sit down come November or probably December, and really look through the book and decide what exactly I want to do with it and how I want to incorporate it. I do love using my other little book for my full moon and new moon spreads, so I might just still continue using that one for special spreads, but we'll see what I end up deciding to do. So here is what January looks like. So it is double paged, and we do get all of the different astrological signs, plus we get a moon tracker, daily moon tracker. And as a pre-order, one of the extras that we got was all of that information in a Google or in a e-calendar format, so I added it to my Google Calendar, although most of this I don't know outside of the moon phases, but that's fun. Definitely, I think this would push me to learn more about the astrological aspect. And then that's cool. It gives us some kind of basics. So we've got our sun in Capricorn, our full moon is in Cancer on January 6th, and the new moon, which is the wolf moon, is in Aquarius January 21st. So that's cool that you get all that information. There's some little notes here. The normal little that. I love the artwork for Capricorn. That's super fun. And then on this side, there's a tiny little tracker that you can do at the bottom. So it goes for all 3 days. It looks like there's 5 rows. So you can choose whatever daily tracker. So, you know, tracking your daily pulls or whatever you want to track. That's interesting too. Or maybe just some self-care stuff. Let me see here. And I'm like, let me do this real quick. But I just wanted to show what it looks like in case you were interested. Okay, so here is sounds like she's playing with my brother's cat. I was like, I hear noises, what's happening? So here is just January 2023. So it looks like there is some options to do a spread for the month. And it looks like she gives some prompts here, but I like to choose my prompts based on, you know, what I'm going on or the general vibe or where like the moon is sitting and what that kind of month means in the cycle. So I don't usually do general ones like this. That's energy, love, money, work, health, and spirit. But that's easily... like I could get like some pretty washi paper to put over those words and then do my own thing. And then obviously space to write on it. And then a spot for end of the month reflection, which is interesting. And then on the other side, so we've got intentions, this month's priority, feeling inspired by, looking forward to, need to let go of, how I want to feel, highlights, monthly goals, and weekly action steps. So that's really interesting for just of a like mindfulness and self-care type of planning instead of just strictly tarot, which is fun because that means that even if you don't do tarot, this could have a lot of different uses for you. And then we get into our weekly. So let me just take a look. Okay, that was quick. All right, so here is our weekly, and I'm going to fold it so it's a little easier to look at. So here is what we got. We got a 3-card spread for the week. At the top, we've got an affirmation if you want an affirmation for the week. And then we've got our daily things. So like I said, I got the 1-card daily polls. So I just have 1 slot here. And then we've got our moon. And then we've got the message and then what today brings. So I could use this as like a daily planner kind of a thing, just outside of tarot, and then just do my tarot card pulls here. And it does do full Saturday and Sundays on their own sheets. So then let me just kind of... And then what's fun is... So like I mentioned when we were looking at it, this is the new moon in Cancer. So I love that instead of just being a new moon, it actually kind of gives you that information and adds that extra little like, ta-da, hey, remember I'm special. So then this is the week. So I will turn the page. And because that was the week with the, or I guess it's a full moon. So now the next page is our full moon in Cancer. So a full double page space to work on this. And this has release, celebrate, how I feel, gratitude, forgive, and notes. So this is probably something, once again, I might not use as it's titled as. And then she does offer a spread, a 6-card spread here for the full moon in Cancer. So you've got here, and then you've got your 6 questions, and then some notes on the bottom. And this seems... So even though she has like what this full moon usually kind of is relevant towards, harvest, witness, assess, and align, her questions here are very basic, like generic full moon questions. Where am I right now? What is influencing me? What have I created since the last new moon? What is no longer serving me? How can I let go and release this energy? And what can I learn during this cycle? So those are all very basic. And if you've seen any of my other vlogs where I've done my tarot polls, I like to go for very specific spreads that not only deal with astrologically what kind of vibe that time of the month or that moon phase is set in, but also kind of have taking a pointed direction in whatever aspects are going on there. So that one's just a little too free flowing and vague for my purposes and my preferences. But let me just kind of squeak through here. So here's February. Okay, so it looks like most of this is the actual planner pages. So let me just kind of go here. Alrighty, so let me put... Okay, so most of this... So here is January, and then this is your final page in December because the full moon is back in Cancer December 26th. That's crazy. And that is the exact same questions here. And then after that, we've got like bullet journal kind of style graph paper. So you can do whatever you'd like in these final pages, make your own spreads, doodle, take extra notes. And it looks like that is how it ends, is those like bullet journal-y pages for the last little bit. So most of the reference things are in the front, and that's not too bad. It's only like 10 pages of references and how to use the calendar. So that's not too shabby at all, and I feel like that will have a lot of use, which is super fun. And let me just kind of glance through. Okay, so she does say, please note throughout this planner, all listed moon and astrological information is based on Mountain Standard Time and Mountain Daylight Time, depending on the time of year, which is perfect for me because I am also in Mountain. So that is one thing to note. But yeah, so there's definitely a lot of information in here, so I definitely can't wait to sit down and really go through it piece by piece, especially those front pages, and really see how, even if I don't use the planner how it's intended, I feel like it will be helpful going through and seeing how she's intending the planner to use and understanding the layout a little bit better for its purposes, and then that way I can easier adjust it to what I would like, if that makes sense. But so yeah, there's that. I'm very excited to work through this, and I'm hoping 2023 brings some good things, and I'm hoping this will kind of help me re-strengthen my tarot, because I've definitely dropped off the last little bit. But I go in ebbs and flows. But I still try to at least do my moon phase spreads, but I haven't since I moved out of my old place. So I told myself I left one of my main tarot deck card set out to work on, to just, in case I wanted to do spreads, that's just my generic everyday one, just in case I wanted to do something, but I just haven't been in the mood for it, so, and haven't felt like I had the space and the correct mindset to really sit with my cards. But otherwise, I will stop rambling at you, and we will do the quest calendar, and then I will show you one more thing, but we'll do the quest calendar first. So yesterday we defeated that little robot dude, and then we managed to avoid the falling molten metal. So let's see what today brings. Okay, it looks like we've got one of the vents maybe that metal was going through. Let's see what it says. You've navigated this maze of a factory for some time, and you haven't been able to get out. You've done circles and wandered aimlessly. You come to a grate on the floor and hear the rushing sound of water. This water outlet must take you away from this machine or factory. So 1A, open the lock on the grate, which is dexterity, reminder locksmith, or 1B, break open the gate, which is a strength roll. Then number 2, hold your breath, so constitution. And number 3, swim in the currents to escape, which is a dexterity roll, reminder athlete. Okay, so that's a lot going on. And I'm going to go with the dexterity roll first. So we have a +6 to our dex. Let me get out my D20 here. Right on top, just what I need. Oh, okay. That is a 7. So 13. All right, if the result is between 8 and 14, the lock is stuck shut. You will need to break the gate, option 1B. Okay, so now we need to break open the gate, which is a strength roll, and our strength is a +3. And that is another 7, so 10 this time. If the result is between 8 and 14, the bars on the grate bend a little, but not enough to open. Retry breaking the gate, or pick the lock if you haven't already. We already tried that, so we're going to try breaking it again. And that is a 12, so we are at 15, which is what we needed. If the result is 15 or more, the bars bend and the lock breaks free. The grate is open. Fun. Okay, hold your breath. So our constitution is a +1. And that is a 16, so we are at 17. Okay. If the result is 15 or more, you do well and survive the time underwater without trouble. Well, how long do we spend underwater? Okay, and then the final is swim the currents to escape. So our dexterity, once again, is a 6, and we get the skill athlete this time, which we do have, which adds a +2, and then our follower also has that, so that is another +2. So we're at +10 to what we roll. So that is good. Even if we roll really bad again, we should be okay. And it's another 7, but it's 17. And with a 15 or more, you move with the flow and eventually find an opening you can climb out of and breathe. Where are we now? I'm really intrigued to see where we crawled out of the water and what kind of setting we're in. But we have to wait till tomorrow. That's what's one thing that's fun about if I miss a day. We have a lot to like, we can play more in one sitting, but it's fine. I can wait till tomorrow. It's fine. Alrighty, so there is that. I'll put that back away. And then I'm going to watch Decision Day for Married at First Sight. So we will see who decides to stay together. And then I will just kind of give you a little tiny update. I did do a lot of crocheting last night. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but I did get the waffle stitch section. So before I just had this bottom one. So I did get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows done last night, and it's getting bigger. So that's the only thing is it's an easy, fast stitch, but every row adds 8 stitches at least to the size of the blanket. So we are just extending like crazy. So I have, I think, 3 stitches left because I need to do the second row will close out this portion of because see how the waffle stitch has like a top and a bottom ridge. So I need to do the other row for this one to close out this one. And then I think there's another row. So it's 3 waffle stitches down. And then I can do the second portion of the rope stitch, which will take frickin' forever because it's mostly single crochet. But we'll see if I can get it done by tomorrow. I'm hoping to at least finish the waffle stitch tonight, which I know I said yesterday, but I forgot how long it takes sometimes to work on these once it starts getting big. And what's crazy is this is only week 4 and it's already big. And I got, for my yarn, I got the jumbo ones. So obviously I've used some of this already, but this is the jumbo rolls. It has, how many yards is in this? This is 744 yards. So this is a huge honkin' skein. And this is how much I have left in the brown one. So I am almost ready to move on to a second brown skein, which is crazy, but this whole section is only done in brown. So, but anyway, I will, hey, back off. Yeah, I know. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, I'm Rinks. Oh my gosh, right in my ear. Say hi, I'm Rinks. Look, right here. Say hi. Hi, cutie. Okay, I'm going to go and give this one attention since she seems to think she needs it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Happy Friday for 28 more minutes. It's just about 11:30. Cheese is wondering why we aren't in bed yet, but I just finished a couple of things, so I thought I would do my update before I get ready to go to bed. The Avs did play tonight. I'm wearing my Ray Bork practice jersey, and it's gray, and I love it because this is my favorite color. She's just coming through, and the Avalanche lost. It was 1-0. It was like a really, they played the New Jersey Devils and they were like really strong defensively, and you could tell that they've watched a lot of tapes and they've looked at a lot of how the Avalanche are really trying to play the game right now, and they were just able to shut down everything, which, I mean, good for them. I mean, they played really well, but games like that where it's just like defensively shut down and nobody can do anything because our defense is really good. Those games are always just kind of boring to watch because it's like, oh my goodness. But last night I did finish Evil Twin by Katie Wilde. This is a part of the series. I finally remembered to look it up or make note of it when I did my spreadsheet and form after I finished it yesterday. This is in Villains and Love. It's not a numbered series, but it's multi-author, but I do believe that Ruby Dixon has 2 books in it, but they're different. Like, Ruby Dixon is a sci-fi, her book in the series, and then there's somebody else in the series that wrote a contemporary, and this is a fantasy romance, so it's really interesting that they're all different genres, but they're really just going with the thread of the main character is a villain in love. But let's be honest, they didn't really feel like villains to me. And it was more like I was told that they're the evil ones. And it just didn't really make, like, I didn't feel like they were really the bad guy. Like, I mean, maybe morally gray, but they were doing it for the right reasons, because the people who were trying to rule their respective kingdoms weren't actually ruling it. They were treating it like their own, I don't know, personal inheritance, and not actually thinking about taking care of the people that reside in their kingdom and running it and governing it in a way that everyone can flourish. So I don't really know how villainy they are. I enjoyed this for the most part. I gave it 4 stars. It just didn't quite hit what I wanted. And then it got a little cliche at the ending, and the epilogue was completely unnecessary, especially the second half. Like, finding out that she's pregnant with twins was cute, but and then there was something completely silly and unnecessary, and I was like, I don't really care. So, 4 stars. I had to shift this to the second board for Fall in Love, and I did it for Standalone Romance. For Color Me Romantic, I use this for the purple prompt. For one of the options is characters is royal or nobility, and they are both royal and noble, I guess. Yeah, if you're noble, then you have, like, if you're royalty, you are nobility, but not all nobility are royalty. But anyway, you probably already know that. I'm tired. I'm sorry. And then for Being in the Night, I use this for twins. And the Frank Sinatra song I chose as the theme was All the Way Home, which is off the 4th volume of Reprise Rarities. So there is that. I made notes of what I wanted to talk about. So today, I backed a project on Kickstarter in 2020, I believe, or it was early 2021, but I'm pretty sure it was 2020. And it is by Hit Point Press, who do a lot of, hi, oh, yes. She is full of it. They do a lot of, like, D&D and tabletop role-playing accessories and things like that. And they did a Kickstarter campaign for their spell cards, which they have done before, and I backed them. I did not back them for the spell cards. I backed them for one of the other projects that they were also working on in this campaign. But because everything kept getting delayed, I actually ended up with their deck of many animated spells. These are Cantrips, Volume 1. So, and these are all for 5th edition D&D. So I might as well just open it and show you. I never really played, I played like one wizard once, but most of the magic users I played were magic as like a secondary thing, like a ranger or a paladin. I don't think I ever played a cleric. I don't know, but so we will pull these out here, and I'm just going to grab one so you can kind of see. So this first one is Eldritch Blast, and what's cool is they are animated, and there is a plastic film on it. You can see the bubbles here, but so it's animated. So this is Eldritch Blast, and it has all the information that you need on the bottom of it, and then like the description and information from the role-playing books is on the back. So that's kind of cool that you can actually do, like, here's Druidcraft, and you're making a flower grow. Isn't that so cool? Let's see if there's one that's, a lot of these are, here we go, prestidigitation. This is a common one. So, oh, that is just so cool. So yeah, so this ended up being, and then they do have some information. So here is their socials and all that. I'll link to them down below like normal. But so I ended up just getting this as they gave it to all of their backers with all of the different delays that they were facing, both with COVID and then getting everything proper. And then there were times where like one project would be done before the other. So depending on what you backed, they'd get sent out at different times. So that's fun that I have those, and I would like to look at 5th edition, but then the main reason I backed the Kickstarter is because they had the Fable Makers animated tarot. So this is made to both be a part of 5th edition if you have a character who's using tarot cards or something similar. In Pathfinder, I know they're called Harrow cards. I don't know what Dungeons and Dragons calls it, but this is the deluxe edition, and I ended up getting the deluxe edition because there were a couple bonus items that I was going to purchase outside of the deck, and the deluxe edition gave me the best bang for my buck. Like, it was only like $5 more than the add-ons I wanted, like the price of the deck plus the add-ons I wanted, and it was giving me extra stuff that even though I wasn't necessarily planning on buying it, it made it worth it for the $5 extra. So here we go. The only thing is I noticed here the foiling got stamped slightly off. So this little 5E logo is supposed to be where the black part is. And then this isn't completely centered. But like I said, this is the deluxe edition. So it comes with the Fable Makers hardback tarot guidebook. And it does have foiling. And I did open this at work just to kind of glance through. But I haven't cracked the pages yet. So that first crack, I don't know why, but it always makes me happy when you do that first crack. So this is for, I believe, the normal tarot. Now they did go with typical Raider White Smith imagery here. So, I mean, they're going in how to shuffle. So this is, like all tarot decks are made for people, anyone to really pick up. I mean, obviously you want to, when you're first learning, there's some decks that are better than others in learning the imagery and stuff, but I feel like the way that they level, like not leveled, laid this out is perfect, because there may be people who are into tabletop gaming who don't really know much about tarot but ended up getting like their whole set of everything, or were interested enough to get it to incorporate it somehow into their games. And so I feel like the way that they kind of set stuff up is good for learners as well as advanced people. But what's cool, so it goes over tarot basics. And this is quite a big chunk here, and crafting questions. So it's how to in tabletop role playing, as a DM or GM, depending on what you call that, what you call it, get tarot cards added to your game and the kind of things that people can do. And so these first 30 pages are just about tarot in general and making it work for you. And then we've got understanding the cards. And then so it kind of goes over our basics, major versus minor arcana, and then the 4 suits. And then some basic tarot for real life things, so intentions and affirmations and reflections. Looks like there are 1, 2, oh my gosh, they're tarot spreads. They've got Feather Fall, Magic Missile, oh my god, I Attack the Darkness, oh my god. There's an old film, if I can find it, I will link it up above, and it is from a comedy skit or something, and it's people playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they go into a room and someone fires magic missile, and he's like, I attack the darkness. And somebody did some weird little animation skit to it, so if I can find it, I will put it up there. We were all obsessed with this video when I was in college at our Gamers Guild, because it just was amazing. But so there is a tarot spread that's called Magic Missile. That's for problem solving, which is hilarious. And then it looks like there's Mimic tarot spread, Reincarnate. Okay, and those ones have full on like artwork. And then it looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 4 other little mini spreads, but they don't kind of show a layout. They just say, one is Banishment, Prismatic Spray, Adventure Prep, and Freedom of Movement. So, super fun. And then how to use tarot as a player and making it work. And then there's some tarot spreads for players. So this is spreads that you can use geared towards your character while you are playing tabletop. So there's a Confusion spread, Dimension Door, Misty Step, Prismatic Wall, and then 4 other generic ones, Sword and Board, Quick Traits, Action Economy, and Character Attunement. And then we've got some class features, so relating the tarot deck to the different classes, so Barbarian and Bard. And then they go through all of the main classes that are probably in the base book, and then some feats, and then tarot for game masters, tarot spreads for game masters, and there's ability score, arcane hand, immovable rod, 7 styles, and then seasonal storytelling, legend lore, bag of holding, encounter difficulty. And then a guide in adding tarot to your game. And then the major arcana as NPCs, which is super cool. So it goes in to just some basic overviews of each of them as an archetype. Okay, and then it looks like we have a special NPC here, Nova the Fate Breaker. So there is all that, how to roleplay her. She's got a lot of interesting things. There's her character sheet. Oh my god, this makes me miss like actually playing games. Oh my gosh. All these. Okay, so, and then deck dungeon challenges. Okay, so there's a dungeon challenge that's based around what they called chalices, so cups. And then there's one for coins, so pentacles, swords, and wands, I'm assuming. Yep. And there's wands, so that's cool. You can have like dungeon levels based on those. And then the final little section, it looks like here, is Nova's fate altering boons. So she is an NPC, can potentially add some boons to characters. So it goes over, depending on the card, what type of boons can be applied. And then it looks like also another thing, which is including whispers from the weave. And then, so we're at 118 pages on incorporating tarot into your real life, but mostly into tabletop role playing, which is super cool. And then it looks like we just get straight into the cards themselves. So the major arcana, and it gives, you know, basic tarot guide instructions, or just primary abilities, upright keywords, reverse keywords, skill proficiencies. So the normal, what you would get in a guidebook, with a little bit of a gaming twist to it. And then that whispers from the weave information in the bottom for that mechanic. So it looks like it goes through all of the major arcana. Some judgment and the world. Okay, and then the minor arcana, so it does chalices, coins, swords, and wands. So I'm going to try to get to the end of wands here. And I love that you get a full page of the artwork to really kind of look at the symbolism to see if there's something you might miss when you're looking at the cards itself. And then we've got a few pages for notes. And then the copyright and licensure information. And that is it. And I think this is really pretty too. So that is the hardback book that came with the deluxe edition. And then here is the actual deck itself. It came in a 2-piece hardback. So let me pop this up. And I actually shoved some of my extra little doodads in here, so I'm going to take these out just to show you how it normally looks. So there is a paperback guidebook in here as well. It is not foiled. Okay, so it looks like it has a lot of the similar information. Or maybe this is, okay, contents. Okay, it looks like it goes over a brief, some of the same information and some of it a little bit brief, but it also looks like it's also more geared towards tarot in general. But it does have some of the same information. And then here, it's just a 1-page instead of a dual page with, it looks like, the main point of the artwork on the top. Let me go to, okay, and then it looks like they're doing 3 a page for the minor arcana. And these just show upright and reverse. So this is definitely a quick guide. And then it's got the open licensing in the back. So the hardback definitely goes into a lot more information, but this is a good, quick, handy guide. But then we have the cards. I'm so excited. Okay, I was going to show you the back, but they have a little thank you for your purchase. So I'm just going to slide out the top one here, the Fool. So here is the back of the cards. And here is the Fool, and his cape is flowing, the wind is going. See if I can let me see if I can take the plastic off easy. That'll be one thing, going through and removing all the plastic. And these I'll probably have to shuffle slightly differently than I normally shuffle just because I don't want to scratch the cards, but here we go. So, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So this is the animated tarot. Oh my god, this is so cool. I love this. I love this. Oh my gosh. Okay. I want to show you more. So let me just kind of go through and see some of my favorites and see kind of how okay. So here is Strength. I'm going to leave the plastic on him for now. Okay, so it looks like it's his tail that's moving and she's petting him on his face. Oh my gosh. That is so fun. Ah. Okay, and then we've got chalices. Let's see. Here we go. 5 of chalices. So the 5 of cups. It looks like we've got some sparkling in the water. And then some sparkles or bubbles coming from the chalices. And then his cape is moving. I'm trying not to get too many reflections, but move it so you can see what it is. Okay, let's look, since we talked about books, let's look at the 10 of cups or chalices. That's what I call my HEA card. So we've got mom, dad, 10 cups in the rainbow, 2 kiddos dancing. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. I think that's the only part that moves, are the kiddos. Oh, and then there's sparkles at the top of the chalices. So it's only up and down, but there's sparkles. Oh my gosh, I just dropped them on the floor. And then we've got those pentacles. So it looks like they're very region based, so I haven't really looked too much into the information, but the chalices definitely kind of give me like Middle Eastern vibes, just in, let me see if I can find one where there's like a person, or like Asian vibes. So you can see his kind of skin tone and art style. Or maybe even Polynesian, maybe. And then it looks like here for pentacles, we're going with like African American culturally based. So the coins are all spinning. And here's the 10 of coins. So all the coins are spinning once again. Oh, and the dog's tails are wagging. Oh my gosh, these are so fun. I love them. Okay, we'll get the other one. Toss that over there. Okay. Ooh, I'm intrigued by death. What is the death? So here is death. So he's a skeleton like general on a horse, and his flag is waving in the little thingy on his hat. And it looks like the sun rays also move. That's so fun. Oh my gosh, I bet this one's gonna be horrendous in its own right. Here's the tower. Oh my gosh, and the lightning. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you ready? Okay. Watch this window here. A dude falls out. He jumps out. Oh my gosh. And then somebody appears in the other one and jumps out as well. Oh my gosh. That is so fun. Oh my gosh. I mean, Okay, that might sound weird that I said that it's so fun that people are jumping out of a burning tower, but okay. And then we've got our swords. This is one that I was a little about when they were showing the artwork. That I prefer Five of Swords for, he just looks a little too devious on his face. Like, I know this card is typically all about deception, but there's other ways that it could be taking advantage of a situation or something like that. So, all right, and then let's look at wands. Okay. So it looks like wands are definitely East Asian inspired. And he's got an orb that's like spinning, and there's magic going up the wands. Super fun. Ooh, look at the Queen of Wands. She is cool. She's got a kitty and a sunflower. She's got magic around her hair and going up. Oh my god, these are so cool. These are so cool. So this does say tips for using. All cards have a protective film on them. Peel away when you feel comfortable. These cards, and then number 2, sleeve your deck. These cards are made from a plastic material. We recommend for the longevity and for the ease of shuffling the cards to sleeve it in tarot sleeves. Which I might try to find some matte ones or some anti-glare ones to use. But I definitely will look into that. Okay, so there are the cards, and then I will show you the couple other items that came with the deluxe edition. And I know, this is another long update. I'm sorry, but I just can't help myself, and there's a lot going on. So let me put the book back in there, and put this back on here. I also think it's weird how they, put this in here. Because I feel like these are going the wrong direction. Oh, unless I flip it around and then it's going the opposite direction. But that's the opposite of... Or no. Okay. I just was trying to put it in there backwards, but there we go. So, and they both do fit in here. And there is a little ribbon. Oh, I think that's a double ribbon in the hardback book as well. So there's that. It does bother me that these parts aren't lined up on the books themselves, but that's just me being picky. And then, so I think everybody, or most everybody, if you backed any tarot stuff, that one of the like stretch goals was you unlocked the artwork for the Magician in pin form. So let me take it out of the plastic so you can see it. So there is, oop, she's fallen over here. There we go. So that's the Magician. And then because I got the deluxe version, I don't remember if they were, how they were, but you also get, this is either Justice or Judgment. Oh, that one is Justice. And this one is Judgment. And then the Fool, including his little doggy, which kind of looks like a goat in this one. Just the way that the metal is around it. And then also the Wheel. So we got all the Wheel, which is super fun. And there is, this one has Anubis on it, and it looks like a Sphinx, and then a snake. So that is super cool. And it came with 2 reading cloths, is what they called it. So I will just open these. And these were what I was gonna get, were the reading cloths. And they're 2 different ones. And I remember they showed artwork, but it wasn't final. So this one is very pretty. It's very like satiny and very shiny. But so we've just got mostly yellow kind of a diamond, but that's really pretty. It's really simple, but I feel like this could work. I love the like paint splattery, watercolory feel to it. Let me see if we can, there we go. And then this one is a little more designed. Not that that one isn't designed, but that one's like paint splatters, and this is like full on like geometric designed, I guess I should say. I know words, I just have to use them properly. I'll toss you over there. So, ooh. This is the sun. There we go, we'll pull back a little bit, and then it's got like a starry night sky kind of feel in the background. This one is really pretty too, and I love the sheen that it has. And it looks like it looked like there might be a little bit of like cloudiness, but no, it looks like it's all just a pretty deep blue, purpley color. And then all the little dots that are the stars are actually purple, like a lavender. So that's really pretty. Those are both really pretty, and I like the way they feel. They're very slick, so I feel like the cards will go nice on them. And that is everything that came with it. So I am very happy. I've been very excited for this for a very long time, and I cannot wait to like really sit down and go through all of the information they gave us. And I have I mentioned earlier, the Pathfinder has the Hero deck, and I have one of those as well, but it's not 3D animation, whatever you call this kind of stuff. So I'm very excited. Let me look at my notes. Let me get a drink of water, because I've been talking a lot. Okay, before we do the quest calendar and I wrap up this really long week, I'm so sorry. It's so long. I'm sorry. But there's been a lot going on, and I apparently have had to talk to you and gush to you about a lot of things. But earlier tonight, I finished just in the nick of time, because tomorrow drops weeks 5 and 6 of my gingerbread cow, that I finished the final section. So we've got this 2-week section was the bottom rope section, the waffle stitch, and then the top rope. So we are getting huge. So this is what we are at full wide, and I don't think I can stand back far enough for you to see all of it, which is bonkers. So we've got, but I'm excited, and I am down to about a half, like I'm about halfway through here, and I love when, I don't know why, it just makes me happy when I'm crocheting and then I look over and there's like a hole out of the center. It kind of collapsed a little bit, but a lot of the times you can see all the way through it. But me picking up and messing with it kind of made the structure of it flatten a little bit. But I don't know, there's just something pleasing about a hole being out of the middle of the skein. And I might have mentioned that earlier this week or in a previous video, but I enjoy it. So I believe next week we will be getting more to the frosting and candy color. And for mine, if you didn't see the original portion, I am doing this white sparkle yarn. It's got a thread of tinsel in it. As you can see, it gives off, it's not too much sparkle, it's a light sparkle. And then that is my frosting color. And then for my candy color, I'm doing this really pretty light blue because I wanted it to have more of like a winter wonderland vibe for my gingerbread house blanket. So I'm excited. I wasn't too sure about the blue, and I was thinking maybe I wanted a little bit lighter, but now that I've got more brown on it, I like it a lot better. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at with it so far. And hopefully I won't be last minute like I was for this portion. So I have to figure out when the live show is tomorrow so I can do that. But she usually posts it on Facebook in the morning. And I think that's all I have. So let's do the quest calendar and wrap up this clip because it is going on forever. So yesterday we managed to escape down a water sewage type tunnel. Let's see where we popped out. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so we've got a different language and they translate it to Lower Trident. Look at that. That's so fun. And so this looks like kind of metal factory based with lots of, it looks like scaffolding type walkways. Interesting. Okay. You emerge onto a street made of metal. This place is strangely designed and built. You have never seen so much metal before. You go exploring the city and strange inhabitants. Of course. So we've got a lot to do here. Alrighty. Passers-by. All the people you pass, while humanoid in form, are machines made of metal. Their forms are exaggerated and asymmetrical, and yet beautiful in craftsmanship and complicated arrangements. Whoa, okay. I wish that, like, we had pictures of these random people. I don't see any in the artwork. Okay, moving streets. Many of the streets in the city are large and slowly rotating gears. It seems the entire city is a mechanism of some sort. You must have been inside it earlier. As you move about, you get a bit disoriented while the city shifts around you. Avoid dizziness. So this is going to be a Constitution roll. So we are a +1. 19. So we are at a 20. If the result is 11 or more, you are able to focus on the non-moving parts of the city to stabilize yourself. Cool. Alrighty, the Crystal Cog Tavern and Inn. The beds are hard and the facilities are clearly not meant for you. Pay 4 gold if you would like to take a rest. We have 2 damage. I don't think it's worth it for us to take a rest. Okay. Molly's Mechanical Medicines. You find a shop along what must be a street that you hope provides supplies that are useful for you. Or maybe you can get a better understanding of the composition of creatures that inhabit the city. While there are a lot of odd supplies and mechanisms you don't understand, you do find some healing potions you can buy. So there's a health potion and a greater health potion. I don't have a note that I've used any, so I don't think we need to buy more because we had quite a few of both already. Oh my goodness. Carries combat supplies. A rusted and crippled machine limps around a small booth in a corner store. Never be unprepared in combat. So there is a combat tonic, which is 10 gold, which adds a d4 to all attack rolls on the page, and Dragon's Fire, which adds d4 to all damage rolls for the page. I don't think we need it either. I want to try to save our money to get any more upgrades that we haven't already gotten. And we also need to really keep an eye out for meal rations. And then the final portion is Upper Trident. You've been roaming around in Lower Trident for some time and spot a bridge leading to a cleaner and better kept part of the city, Upper Trident. This is where the transference sensor is indicating the gate shard is located. Interesting. So we'll see how it is in Upper Trident. I'm glad that even though these people are completely different than us, they're not like attacking us on sight or anything weird. So that's fun. Alrighty, that is it for me and Cheese, which you can just barely see her. She is right there. That's the Cheese. Come here. Come say hi. Say hi, people. My mommy is staying up late tonight, huh? Yeah. Are you ready for bed? We're just gonna whine. Isn't she just the cutest little kitty? Mommy loves you. Alright, so we will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. I know this video is going to be super long. I had at least 2 other really long clips I recorded this week because there's a lot going on, and it is now after midnight. So technically it's happy Saturday, happy weekend. But yeah, I will see you all with another video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.